rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Pistoling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo. Party people in the place to be. What's good? Ooh, I don't like that. I like that better. I like that better. What's good, party people in the place to be, man? It's your number one chief rocker in Knicks universe. Uncle Freezie is in the building. Salute. I'm going to pour up a beverage here. A Diet Cola. Pour me up a Diet Cola. Got to stay off the real colas. All that stuff. Got to watch calories and all that stuff. Yeah, I know what it is. IKBM Dre's in the building. Who else is that? Greg Hamilton is in the building. Salute. Hamilton, what's good, man? Andios is in the building. Salute. Let me do this thing real quick. So I have to do a thing really quick, right? I have to do a thing real quick. Can y'all hear me? Test, test, test. Hit him up. What's good? I got to do a thing real quick. I ain't even going to front. Yeah, I know, Brandon. I know. It's like picking, Brandon, to your point, diet sodas are just as bad as regulars, right? And so, I get it. So my thing is, if I'm picking the lesser of the two, and I know both are just about the same because of the ingredients that the diet soda has, you know what I'm saying? The only thing though is, yeah, I'll be drinking, like doing healthy stuff, man, doing the seltzer waters and the sparkling waters, zero added everything. So I just got to pick one, man. You can only drink so much water before you start craving something, right? Justo, my brother from another, says, salute everyone. Appreciate the hard work given to the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. All respect to the chief rocker, man. I appreciate you, brother. Justo, I kind of wish you had a schedule where you could be up here more often, man, because I love the way you talk about that. I ain't gonna front. I love the way Justo talk about the Knicks, man. I love the way Justo talks about the Knicks because it's respectful and hardcore at the same time, which is dope. And so I appreciate the generous contribution, man. Thank you. Right. But I have to admit to you guys, because there are a few things I want to talk about. The absence of Brunson defensively, right? The absence of Brunson defensively makes this team, dare I say, better. And it's no disrespect to Jalen Brunson, right? Josh Hart shooting the basketball, all of a sudden the team scores 133 points. 100, what was it? 133? Just by Josh Hart shooting the three, the team scores 133 points. Mikal Bridges handling the ball. The fact that Mikal Bridges handles the ball now more. I like the fact that Bridges handles the ball. I like the fact that Deuce is a comfortable jump shoot. He's not a driver. He was more in that Emmanuel Quickly mindset of not a driver to the rim and finisher like that, an opportunistic driver and finisher. Kind of like Emmanuel Quickly, kind of like Alec Burks was with us. Jerry Fitz is in the building. Salute Fitz. Hey Fitz, I gotta go. I gotta do a thing, right? Fitz, I have to do a thing. I have my microphone in a different place. So if I look a little, so I'm in a room where I don't know if I like the way the setup is. I think I'm gonna go. Eventually, I think I'm gonna go to a full body shot with a keyboard near me. I think I'm gonna go to a full body shot with a television that I can read the chat as opposed to read it off the computer screen. I think I'm gonna have to go through. I think I'm gonna have to do that. Miguel P is in the building. I think I'm gonna have to go to more of a Dexter Henry like look. Salute to Dexter Henry, too, by the way. Thunk was good. Salute to all the members, man. Yeah, I see you, boss. Hey, Justo, thank you for the generous contribution. Justo says, I think PJ Tucker actually was what Josh needed. That vet to stop the excuses. And then he goes on to say, my schedule soon fixed when my 3-year-old finally takes a nap. I feel you. I feel you. Naps are invaluable. So I'm gonna say it like this. It's gonna sound crazy. JJ, the Mets have pitching, bro. JJ, the Mets have pitching, bro. The Mets have pitching. Yeah, you feel me? JJ, you feel me? This is what we've been saying the whole time. That's what we've been saying the whole time. So let me say this thing to y'all. I'm gonna say this thing to y'all, right? I really miss Emmanuel Quickly. I really miss RJ Barrett. I really miss Julius Randle. I really miss Isaiah Hartenstein. And in a way, in a twisted way, I really miss Quentin Grimes. I miss Quentin Grimes in a way that mosquitoes bite you to remind you it's summertime. Like I really love the summertime. And Quentin Grimes is like those mosquitoes that bite you during summertime that reminds you that it's summertime. I really miss Obi Toppin. Right. And so here's the thing. Or here's my thing, right? Here's my thing, and it's gonna sound weird. I feel like I miss Randall and RJ and Quickly and Hartenstein and Dante so much that I'm probably not really fair to Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. I feel like I miss those guys so much that I haven't been fair to Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. And listen, I'm not asking y'all to feel the same way I feel or admit to the way that I feel. I'm saying this in fairness to all of our conversations. Like my conversations are rooted in a place. So it's like when I say certain things about Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns, it's kind of not fair to the new guys. Like I've been excessively harsh on Landry Shamet. Like I've been ridiculously bullying Landry Shamet. And like what did Landry Shamet ever do to me? Nothing except replace guys that I loved. You feel me? Landry Shamet is nothing to Uncle Freezie except to come in here and play the very best that he can and be in an impossible situation where he's replacing fan favorites.
Salute.
What's good, boss?
I'm chilling. How are you, Freezie?
I'm okay. Right? But I have like several dilemmas going on at once.
Okay.
Right. So here's the thing. Here I'm gonna lay it all out here on the table at once.
Go.
For one, I have to buy a new car.
That's one.
Right.
And yeah, you know you gotta ride clean because you're a little bougie.
Yeah, well, and I'm a very large human being.
Yeah.
Right.
So you gotta be a little bit luxurious. You gotta splurge a little bit.
And I'm diabetic.
Yeah.
So I can't be riding a Toyota Corolla. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So here's the other thing. I have to buy the missus a gift for a very special event.
Anniversary.
Nah, I ain't gonna say it here because you know what I'm saying, it's too personal. But
Yeah. Okay.
a very special event, and I gotta rip a pocket off.
Okay.
Right.
Well, if you want to make the money, just bet Josh Hart unders for everything, and then you be
For
straight.
everything, and then I'll be able to do. Yeah. I'll be able to spend a month in Cayman Islands.
Might be able to get a castle, man.
Why not? a White Castle.
Exactly.
Right. So I have all these things going on, and then my year financially has not gone the way that I thought it would go. But then when I look back at some political changes on the landscape, I should have anticipated it, but I didn't think that far ahead.
Yeah.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream.
Yeah, just making my brief cameo appearance.
Fresh cameo cut every day. You know who said that?
Fresh cam.
Big
Man,
Daddy King.
It's so many. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, man, there's so many one-liners. Can't keep up. I must be getting old.
Right. And
Too
so
many,
Cash,
man.
I know you here for both a good time and a short time, right? Right. So,
Mm-hmm.
cause, I get it because you gave me the heads up. I want to ask you and IKBM Dre.
Yep.
This is my question. And think when I say this, when I ask this, don't think I'm trolling. Just think about the context of the question that I'm asking. Like I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. There's no ulterior motive. It's just something to think about. And I want to get y'all guys' answer so it'll further my thinking about the question. Is Jalen Brunson's absence a blessing in disguise?
If it goes the way I think it can go, I think it should be. It feels like I've said this to you before, Freezy. It feels like it takes Tibbs a wake up call. Unfortunately, it takes an injury for him to spruce things up and add another dynamic to what he's trying to do. And there's good parts in on top of Tibbs being like very strict and stringent in his tactics because you build in levels of discipline and stick to itiveness in terms of a game plan. But sometimes you need a pivot, you need other options. And
Okay.
it feels like when Brunson's on the court, he's a crutch for what Tom Thibodeau. Like Brunson is a crutch for Tom Thibodeau. He always has been. And if you're a guy that can get a bucket in the half court and generate offense,
Right.
he's going to rely on that. He's going to ride that till the wheels fall off.
Like my Jodeci tape.
Yeah,
Like anytime I can't find the right music to play, I play my Jodeci mixtape.
and it gets you where you need to go.
And it gets me where I need to go.
But sometimes a woman that might not be a fan of Jodeci.
I gotta find it.
And then you got to find something else. You might have to throw on Tony.
Well,
And at that point, we talking about someone that is averse to making big decisions and changes until like someone goes down or until we get like requisite practice time instead of implementing these things as we go along naturally or experimenting and figuring out what you do have, what you don't have. Sometimes you have to do data analysis.
right,
You gotta figure out what you have in your process. And I feel like we don't do that when it's winning us games, even at its most bare minimum. Tom Thibodeau doesn't necessarily care about net rating being extremely high. He just cares about winning and losing.
right,
But in those margins, when you're just winning by not that much against lesser competition, and then you show up against the big dogs, you look like you're not ready or prepared because you don't have any pivots or any different ways of playing. And I think Brunson going down kind of forces his hand. And if you notice, last night, even though we were making shots, we
mm,
saw OG get what, a career high in assists.
right,
Mikal turned up with 8 assists as well.
yeah,
We didn't have like 30 assists in like 11, 12 games or something like that.
yeah,
And we had it against a team, for better or worse, was actually playing solid defense for like their
yeah,
last 7 games or so coming
yeah,
into that night.
yeah,
Granted, they were coming off of a back to back, but you need those types of games. You need to figure out ways to win your minutes without Brunson being on the court. Now, granted, when you go into the players, you're going to heavily rely on your guys, but in times I've mentioned this before, you you can lose a playoff game in 4 or 5 minute stretches without your superstar player if you
yeah,
don't have it all together. Like Game 6 against the Heat, where you took Brunson out and you took Randall out at the same time and asked Deuce to do something he was never asked to do for any real stretch of minutes at any point in his career, which was leading offense
right,
for 4 minutes, and what they chopped like a 12, 13 point lead down to one.
yeah, yeah,
and that's where we lost that game.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you got to figure out ways to be more dynamic and empower players. Like I saw there was a particular play last night where McHale came off a pin down and he was seeking out contact.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Is that not emphasized? Is that not told to the players? He needs to like. We have to take. Does it take 60 games for that to be a thing? And it feels like Tibbs only emphasizes these things out of desperation or need to win the next game. And if he doesn't have the pieces, then he finds a little bit of ingenuity. Just like when we lost Randall. When we lost Randall, Tibbs came out with a pamphlet of like 10 new plays just to figure out ways to get Brunson open.
Right.
It's like, why couldn't we figure these things out and ways to add to that while we were still whole? That makes you more dynamic.
So the point you're making is Tibbs only makes changes when necessary.
Yeah. And if you're too afraid to do that when it's necessary, you're gonna be in the second round of a playoffs trying to reach for something that you ain't worked on at all or got the kinks out of. And you can't live and die like that. Like I said this before, I think I told you this. Like Mark Dagnall literally said when he got Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren back, we're going to play these dual big lineups, even if it isn't necessarily effective right now, because we already know what we have in these other lineups. That we have the things figured out. Because I need to collect data. I need to know how I can maximize this roster to its fullest potential and see what my team looks like in different arrays. And it feels like we don't try that. We don't think to try that. And that's been a constant theme since Tibbs got here. The first year we made the playoffs, Tibbs didn't think to put Alfred Payton on the bench until game 86.
And we were begging for it since game 20. But
Yeah,
let me get Cash. Let me get Cash in here real quick because we don't
yeah.
know how long Cash gonna be here. Cash, what's
My
good, bro?
fault, Cash. Is Cash there?
DJ Cash on the ones and twos.
I think he stepped away.
Oh boy, he stepped away from his phone. He must
Or,
be in
or
Bahamas.
maybe he's muted.
Maybe he muted. Yeah, no, well, no. Oh. Where's Lee at? I thought I saw Lee in here. Where's Lee at?
Where Lee at?
I thought I saw
Oh
Lee in
no,
here.
he said it in the private chat. Need to step away for a second. We'll answer a question. Okay.
Okay, okay, yeah, I see. Hey, um, shout out to Lee Escobedo. Lee and I are gonna do something here coming up, here soon. Yeah, um, we're gonna put something together, man, and rock the crowd.
Send it to
Yeah,
me. I was
yeah.
gonna
Nah,
say,
Yeah, Lee, I know, I know. Lee. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow we going. But all right. So let me do this, Dre. Let me
yeah,
ask you this. This Sacramento Kings team, I'm sorry, with so much talent, at times look flustered because their regular defense was being shredded not because of energy, right? But because um, schematically they were giving up certain looks that they clearly had miscommunications on.
yeah.
And when you couple that with the physicality that the Knicks brought, I think they were flustered by that also. Because I think even though Valanciunas is a very physical player, I think everywhere else they're,
Eh,
I was gonna say soft, but I don't want to call grown men soft. They're
Keegan, Keegan,
finesse.
Keegan can be physical.
That's
I
not
will
his
say
nature,
that the
though.
kid that
I think
they
you have to tell him to be physical.
yeah,
He can do it.
and the kid that they have off the bench with the dreadlocks, I forgot his name. That
Yeah.
I wanted us to go get he can be physical at the point of attack.
Who was that you said again?
Hold on. Keon Ellis. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Keon
You,
Ellis
you
is
still
a
talking about the
dog.
Grimes draft? You love talking about that Grimes draft, huh?
We not talking about Ham Cassell's draft tonight.
We not talking about Hammy Davis Jr. No, we talking about
Hammy Sosa? Nah.
yeah. Yeah. It would surprise me if it would not surprise me if Ham I am scores 40 in two more games and tricks
Freezy.
the Portland Trailblazers and giving him
What?
4 years, 120.
It wouldn't like there's no coincidence why like 90% of his good games happen in March and early April. Never late April, just the early part of April.
Yeah. 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 He about to fool the Toronto Raptors and giving him 4 years, 117 mil.
Oh my God. God bless that man. I hope he get it. I hope he gets every cent because
You know
somebody's
who
gonna
he is,
regret
right?
it immediately.
Bro, he's Courtney Lee.
Somebody like Orlando will give him a bag. They gave KCP a bag, and that man is rough. I ain't never seen a shooter get washed that fast so quickly.
Bro, that's you remember when you and I first met, we had a conversation about and I'm not saying that I was right. I'm just saying based on my experiences,
Yeah,
I'm cautious.
yeah.
Right. And so sometimes in conversations when you say stuff, people just assume one thing or the other. And I'm like, nah, man, I touched the stove 1,000 times, and about 900 of them times I burnt my hand. So now I'm cautious, right? Right. And so the thing is, when guys change teams, a lot of times they changing teams for a reason, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to look at the reason why these guys are leaving. Like for instance, Bruce Brown. It was Bruce Brown worth that money he got after leaving Denver.
No, no. Jokic gets guys paid. That's
Right.
that's what I come to realize. Hey, I wouldn't take nobody from Denver. The
No,
and the free agency market. Nah, I ain't got a Jokic over here to make that work.
bro, bro, and for that reason, I'm careful. I'm cautious about Quentin Grimes because here's the thing: Nick Nurse will get a shooter paid. Nick Nurse will get like the borderline guys. He will get these dudes paid, bro. Nick Nurse, bro. Yeah, Nick
You
Nurse
said
is
you said
bro.
Fred Van
Jared,
Vliet
Jared McCain averaged more points with the Sixers than he did at Duke.
in probably less minutes.
Yeah, yeah, and it may
Okay,
not be. It might not be exactly the same.
testing
I
one.
may be
Okay.
fudging a little bit, but it
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
like
we hear you, Cash.
Cash was good,
All right.
bro.
What's good, man? Now to answer your question,
Okay.
um, I think it is a blessing, and this is why. I saw something. I saw an interview that Donovan Mitchell had with Scott Van Pelt from ESPN, and he had asked him basically, like, what is the reason for you guys kind of just turning it around and doing what you're doing, so to speak? And because basically, they have basically the same. The core guys are the same. They've had additional pieces, but the core guys were the same. And what would you uh, what would be the contributing factor as to such a turnaround? Why you guys have been so successful this season and having a great season? And he kind of summed it up in one word. And I
Mm.
think that same word can apply to us in this situation with Brunson being absent, and that is empowerment. We all know what it means to be empowered, and certainly that game with Sacramento was a demonstration of that. And I think that that's something that as a team, with us in the Knicks, that we can use to, as fuel to drive us going forward. Guys got to be empowered because we got guys that have skills, that have a good skill set, a good work ethic, and so on and so forth. But maybe they just need to be empowered. And this particular situation with Brunson being out, that that they feel that they're with, with their skill set, that they can be empowered to do what's necessary to get these dubs, man. To
Okay.
to keep pace with Boston and Cleveland, because I mean it kind of looks like we might be locked in this third seed, but still. Um,
You're
but
going to be
going
playing your
forward,
best ball anyway.
because you need to have that going into the playoffs. We know the playoffs is a totally different animal. And another word that I would use too, and I would have to address this towards Brunson, is that okay, if guys are going to be empowered, you're gonna have to trust these guys. I mean, because for somebody to be empowered and to really show to be able to utilize their skill set, you got to trust that they're able to do what they're able to do. And so, it ain't always about. I mean, I know Josh Hart had made a comment. I mean, not necessarily pointing at Brunson, but let's keep it real with the captain clutch and so forth. I mean, it's great, and there's times we need that, but we need to empower our supporting cast because it's going to take everybody to be able to get over this hump. I mean, Brunson, as good as he is, you gotta trust the supporting cast. You gotta empower them. You gotta run some plays for Mikal. Look how OG's balling, man. Take that intensity and roll with it. And I think that's why that PJ Tucker got signed for this 10-day contract, which might turn out to be for the rest of the season, because the way that I'm looking at it for our Knicks right now, going into this home stretch, I think I've said this before, Freezy.
Okay.
It's a mindset, man.
Okay.
They got to get their mind right. And if you're empowered, you put some empowerment with that mindset. You put some dog mentality. That's a game changer, man. That changes things. And a perfect example of that, of a team this season that has turned around and did that. They're not gonna do much in the playoffs, but you see it. The Detroit Pistons trying to
Mhm.
go back to the bad boy image. Isaiah Stewart wanting to fight everybody and so forth. Jason Duran, I wouldn't want to fight him anyway. That young boy too big. He might cause some problems
Right.
if you try and get with him. But for them, and with Bickerstaff and their coaching staff, man, they put a mindset on these young boys saying, y'all ain't sorry, man. Y'all can play, man. Just go play.
They added
Be
vets also.
empowered, man.
Yeah,
Do
they
do
added.
do
Yeah.
what do what you do. That's why Cade Cunningham was an all-star. Now, talent wise, are they gonna beat your Bostons or whatever, or even the Knicks? Probably not in a 7-game series. No, no. They'll get their backsides beaten, but at least they gonna put up a fight, man. I mean, I'd rather
Chad,
go down swinging than
Chad,
than go down on
I
my
understand
knees.
you. I understand you like champagne, right? You probably like Dom Perignon or what's the other one? What's the other Dre? What's the other overrated
Man, just
champagne that rappers like to drink? The one they don't taste
man, give
like
me some
nothing.
white. Just give me some white Zinfandel, and I'm happy, man. I'm
What's the
simple,
one
man.
that the rappers be walking around with the half empty bottle and it don't really taste. It tastes like a drugstore champagne.
Ah,
Um,
What, Ace of Spades? I don't know.
No, Chris. No, not Ace. No, Ace.
Crystal? No,
Cristal?
I don't
Cristal.
even
Yeah,
know, man.
the pink crystal. The one that tastes like the wildflower and raspberry one with the honey. This like got the honey and cranberry taste in it. You know what I'm talking
Hibiscus?
about?
Or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know, man. I wouldn't know.
It's expensive. It's like $470 a bottle, and they only walk around with it because the bottle itself is worth $470.
Yeah,
Instead
man.
of drinking Krug, Krug is like what champagne is supposed to be, light and bubbly. Have you don't get you twisted. It have you in that good feeling, like you celebrating something, right? I know. DJ Cash like that Cristal, like the Crystal, or however you pronounce it. I never bought it, bro. I ain't never bought it.
I ain't never bought it neither.
I tasted it one time at a what do you call them places where you go and they just keep bringing meat to your table? You know what I'm saying?
Brazilian joint. You went to a
Yeah,
Brazilian
yeah,
joint? Yeah, man.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I've done that before. Oh yeah,
yeah,
you gotta. Yeah, you had the thing, the green, the
yeah,
red.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
As long as
yeah.
you keep it green, they keep coming. But
They
once you
keep
flip it
coming,
red,
bro.
they stop. Yeah.
You
Oh
gotta turn
yeah.
that thing on, bro. Like, you got enough.
There you go. That's
But
it.
I had some there, and the dude explained it to me. The curate, the whatever the dude is, he's like, yeah, it's a hint of raspberry and honey with a strong taste of wildflower, but wildflower, but it is a stronger. And then I tasted, I was like, I don't even like this. I've been listening to rappers talk about this for 10 years, and then I taste it, and I'm
It
like,
ain't good. Yeah.
it ain't even good.
Yeah.
It
That
was
hey, sometimes it's
expensive.
like that, man. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's just
Yeah,
like escargot, man. I was like, I don't want,
nah,
that's what the rich people, man. I don't want none of that,
I
man.
tell you, another thing that's overrated, bro. Russian caviar, the Russian caviar that come in
Hmm.
the black tins.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's exotic. It's in the black
Yeah.
tins.
Nah.
The South African caviar tastes better than me. Maybe it's my palate though.
Nah. Hey, it could taste.
Maybe it's
Hey,
just
remember the line? The chicken tastes like wood. Hey, it could be like
yeah,
that, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it could
yeah.
be like that.
Yeah, and then plus too, it don't matter what the caviar tastes like. You got to get it's the condiments that go with it. Like if you get the crispy crackers to go with it, like the thick, I forgot what you. They not wafers. They like they not cookies either, but
They
they
call
crack.
them. I know the English call them like biscuits.
That might be
They
what
have
it
their
is.
own term for them, like biscuits. But I know what you're
But
talking about. It's a really
it's
thick.
thick. It's thick. It's a cracker,
Yeah.
but it's thicker, right?
Yep.
In America, when we think crackers, we think of like the thin cracker. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like the ones you eat your chicken salad with or something.
hmm
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So,
Yeah.
Croutons?
yeah. So, but anyway, to the Pistons point that you were making, though, bro. I ain't even go front. I don't want to see the Pistons in the first round.
I ain't scared of them dudes,
I
man.
would damn near rather give Indiana the fourth seed so that we can play um, Milwaukee in the first round than play the Pistons, bro. I am petrified of the Pistons in the first round.
No, but Freezy, ain't nobody on the Pistons have had playoff success, including their coach,
No,
at
Yep.
but
any point.
let me
Yep.
just say this. Let me just say this about the Pistons. Um, Not that I'm afraid of the Pistons. I think we have enough talent to beat them, and it will bring, and it will bring out some of the dog in us. But I think that series will exhaust us. In other
Right.
words, we're gonna have to put so much into that. We will win, but then once you finally win, guess who's waiting? Them damn Celtics.
Celtics.
Exactly. So
Yep.
it's a situation where like you said, I would like to get Indiana because I would like to like get them and beat them and like, well, it probably ain't gonna be a sweep, but hey, I'll take 5 games or whatever, and then beat Boston because remember whoever Boston gonna play, they gonna spank them.
Watch them. Yeah.
So
It'd probably be
we can't
Orlando.
afford. Yeah, we can't afford to, play no Pistons, no even a 6 games, man. It's just that's exhausting, man.
If we
Because
go, if we
because
go,
they because they the Pistons don't have nothing else to do but to be physical, man. And that's
if we play
exactly
the
what they're
Pistons,
gonna
we
do.
gonna lose, bro.
I don't think. I think we'll beat the Pistons, but it's just gonna be an exhausting
Oh yeah,
series.
Boston gonna play Atlanta. I'm sorry, Boston gonna play, or it looks like they're gonna play Atlanta. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Cash.
Well, you never
that's all
know
right.
how it plays out because the play-in is funny. Like you gotta win one, like the 7-8 gotta win, and then 9,
Yeah,
9-10, and then a loser to 7-8. So you never really know who's actually they're gonna face.
yeah.
You're not gonna know until damn near 2 days before.
So here's my thing, right? Just hear me out on this. Here's my thing on the Pistons. Teams like that have been so hungry for so long, all the conventional thinking goes out the window, right? Because if you're the Knicks and you sleepwalk in that series, and Cash, say for instance, we sleepwalk into that series and say we give away game one, right? Because we just come out flat, right? The Knicks will do that because we can give away a game and then win 7 in a row. We have the talent to do that, right? If we mess around and lose game one and then say blow out the Pistons in game two to remind them who the hell we are. And game three, when we go to Detroit, the environment in Detroit Rock City is gonna be bananas, right? This is not like it's not like the Pistons make the playoffs every year. It's one of them things where we go there, bro. The Pistons are gonna try to squeeze 35,000 people into a 19-seat arena,
Hey,
and
you
that
remember?
place is gonna be
Here's
is
why I
gonna
bring
Hey,
that
be.
hey,
up.
let,
Hold
yeah.
on,
Hey, here, hey,
hold on,
check
hold
this
on,
out.
hold
Remember the
on,
brawl? Remember the
hold on,
brawl
hold
at the
on,
Palace?
hold on. Let me finish. My
All
thought.
right, sorry, man.
Let me finish my thought. The environment is gonna be bonkers, and a young team like that, they can't tap. Sure, they can't tap into playoff success, but they can tap into playoff energy. And a lot of young teams that get over that hump and become dynasties, they don't necessarily tap into playoff experience. They tap into playoff energy, right? You saw it with the Golden State Warriors. They didn't tap into a lot of years of playoff experience. They tapped into an environment that was so hungry and so thirsty for so long that regardless who you put out there for them, they're looking at lunch. They're not looking at, because think about when Detroit plays you in game three, they're not thinking about winning the NBA title. In game three, the Knicks are thinking about we got to beat them to get to where we want to go, right? The Pistons are thinking about we here to knock somebody off. We're here to establish something, right? And when you get those teams, the one that feels like they should already have won a championship versus a team that is super duper hungry, you get one of those fights like it's Pacquiao versus Marquez, right? Pacquiao was like, I got to beat Marquez because I want to be an all-time great. And Marquez is thinking, I got to beat this dude in front of me to get the bigger check, right? Marquez just wanted the winner's check. Pacquiao thinking about his legacy. And you know what happened to Pacquiao? That left hook slept him, right? And so the thing is with the Pistons, they already have all the ingredients to stop a Tom Thibodeau offense anyway, right? With multiple athletes and defenders, right? It will take a heroic Jalen Brunson effort against one of the most elite defenders in the NBA right now, and that man only 20. Right? And then now you're talking about Cat versus Stewart and Jalen Duran, right? And then you're talking about OG versus those other guys and Bridges versus those other guys. And then you're talking about Cade, right? And so, with all that said, it's unlikely that the Pistons will beat us. But I'm saying, as a warning to my fellow Knicks fans, y'all better stop thinking about damn Boston and start thinking about the damn Pistons. That's what I got, Cash.
Nah, I agree, man. Game 3 will be like, you remember the brawl at the Palace
Bro,
when Ron Artest. That's the type of crowd that would be there for Game 3. It'll be
bro,
that type of crowd,
I
and
got a question.
we know what happened there.
I got a question. Were we not hungry the first time we went to the playoffs with Tips?
I didn't think
And
so.
do we not have like one of the most hostile environments playoff history ever?
I didn't get that sense.
Well, I
And we
hope.
got smoked. So
Yeah.
I don't hold that much weight in that
Right.
personally. I don't like
What would be what
and
would
as
be
far as like the
That's because
Warriors
you've never seen
and
a
as
higher
far as like
seed
the
get upset in
Warriors,
the playoffs
Freezy,
before. You ain't
as
never
far
seen
as
that
like the
happen
Warriors,
before.
Freezy, as
Huh?
far as like the Warriors before their dynasty, they went to the playoffs twice and got ousted
Right.
twice before their
Yeah, I
dynasty.
think. But the difference with
I'm
the
still right though,
Warriors,
Dre.
though, the
Dre,
Warriors.
Dre trying to Dre trying to disparage my point with some stuff,
Yeah,
bro.
The Warriors had
He's
talent.
He
They had a
Dre just
couple of players
he never seen a
like,
higher seed get upset in the playoffs before.
yeah, they
No,
had a
Like
couple of players.
he never saw a Golden State Warriors team knock off a Dallas Mavericks team with the best record in the NBA because the Warriors crowd was bonkers.
but
Dre, he didn't
that
see that.
wasn't a team of young players. That was a team of veterans all over, and they were just a bad matchup for that team. Period. There was veterans all over that Warriors team, just
Or
miscast the dudes.
or you
You
can
could
give
say the most recent Warriors
or
team, the one after
or you
that,
can give or you can give Golden State's crowd credit for giving that team energy.
but that same crowd didn't do anything when the Spurs beat them or when the Clippers beat them right after that.
Right. Okay.
And I will say, in that run, those 2 years before, they beat the Nuggets, which was like one of the worst teams to ever win 50 games. Because if you look at their roster, it was like Iguodala and Ty Lawson was the best two players, and then it was just role player, role player, role player, role player. And
Or you can
they
give
beat them,
credit
and then they
to the
faced the Spurs, and they
1994
got
Denver Nuggets that knocked off the Sonics because of energy. The Nuggets crowd was crazy. Cash, you remember that? You remember when that happened?
Yeah. Matumbo, yeah, when he.
Yeah.
But I think
Every positive thing, bro. Every positive thing the Nuggets did in '94 in that series, it felt like the building was gonna collapse. A dude dove for a loose ball, bro, and like 19,000 people was acting like it was New Year's Eve.
Well, that's
I
why you
can't
can't
argue
take.
with I
That's why you
can't
can't
argue
take
against it.
teams lightly, man. You can't take teams lightly. You got to match their intensity. You got to
It,
come in matching their intensity. You
it
can't
comes
come
down to
in.
tactics at that point.
Yeah,
Like
you.
tactics absolutely matters at that point because I can't completely refute it. I will say historically the more talented team usually wins, but if you walk in and you sleepwalking, you can get punched in the mouth and you can lose like anyone else.
I would say every year a higher seed loses. I don't know if that's true, and I hope it's not going to be us. But I have a sense that every year a higher seed gets knocked off. Like there's an upset every year. I just have that
I
sense.
wish the Pistons could play Boston, man. I wish that somehow they could match up in the playoffs. It's not going to happen because, but yeah, I just, man. But I rather get Indiana in that first round. I want Indiana just to get some revenge, man. Yep, just to get some revenge.
Yeah.
And if we do get Indiana, that means that Detroit is going to be on Cleveland's side of the bracket, meaning Detroit and Cleveland could end up tangling, which would be interesting. But
Mm.
yeah,
They would
going,
have Detroit would have to get if that were to happen, Detroit would have to get by the Bucks, and I'm not so they could beat the Bucks yet either. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's their first time being put in this scenario, and you got to see how a young team reacts to that type of pressure and the
Right.
environment. And you could look at like OKC last year where SGA was playing out of his mind, but all them young boys weren't ready.
Well, that
Particularly Jalen
yeah,
Williams, J
but
Dub, he wasn't ready.
yeah, but you know what that goes back to? What I mentioned earlier, man. It's about mindset, having the right mindset. And in the case of young boys, when you're young, you might have talent, but you don't have experience, and that comes with time, man. Like you talked about, champagne, but with fine wine, ages in time, in time, and so with time rather. So, you know, they don't have the they
I
don't have
like
the
artisan wine,
experience,
bro.
man. They don't have the experience.
I know y'all rich dudes like all these wines, like the wine formula from a certain year, like the 2012s. Like I know y'all love the 2012 wines, bro. I don't know what was in the air in 2012, but all the
Freezy,
wine brands from 20 like we have a 2012. So I just said, give me that. With me, I don't care. I don't care if it was made this year, bro. Like I like the family brands, like you know what I'm saying? Like say for instance, if you from New York and somebody from on Long Island make wine and the wine is like $19 a bottle, but it's good, I'll keep buying it. I don't care if it's $19.
shout out to Earl Stevens wine.
Right,
Mm.
right.
That's
But
E40, by the way. He has his own wine.
yeah, man, like that's what I mean. It's to me, it's like cigars. I don't. They don't have to be Cuban. They just have to have a nice wrapper. You know what I'm saying? A person. It's got to be rolled by uh uh um uh um an expert roller, right? Not no machine, right? As long as it's hand rolled, man. Nice wrapper, nice aged tobacco leaf, whole leaf. Like I ain't want if you get a cigar and the tobacco chopped up, you already know you buying trash, right? Yo,
Yeah.
I need all of my leaves rolled together so the smoke can circulate through the leaves like a spiral. And then when you get it, it's like, okay, see now we talking. This is the good life right here, right? I ain't want to go choke me out. I ain't smoking no fucking white. I'm sorry. I ain't smoking no white owls, bro. You think I'm gonna smoke a white owl?
Oh, that's harsh. That man talking about Black and Miles.
Yeah, like nah,
Black and
you think I'm gonna
miles.
smoke a Gosha Vega?
Oh my
Well,
Hey,
no,
let
wait,
me
God.
let me
tell.
take that because Gosha Vega they make some nice high end,
As
but I'm
a
talking about the ones you get out the boat. I'm talking about the one you get out the gas station.
as a side point, man, I remember, Freezy. You probably remember this. The pipe. I had an uncle, man, who 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 smoked a pipe, man,
Right.
and wow, he'll take the tobacco, put it, he has his pipe, he has different ends on it, and that was his thing, man. That was his thing back in the day. I'm going back to like the '70s. And see, not too many young jokers know about that, about smoking. Now I ain't talking about no meth or nothing. I ain't talking about all
Nah, I
that.
mean, so,
Freezy, you know what I'm talking about when
yeah,
I
I know
mean a
you talking
pipe,
about.
man. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't even know if they even still sell them, or
my
I
grandfather
don't see
smoked
nobody doing no pipe,
corn
man.
pipes. You remember corn pipes?
Corn pipe? I think
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
the one they you know what I'm saying with the long handle on it, man, come around, look
Yeah,
like
it
the
has the
compressor.
long handle, and then it has
Yeah,
like it looks like a cup on the end. Yeah, that's what
yeah,
my
yeah.
uncle. That's what my uncle used to smoke. He used
Oh,
to smoke a pipe.
He hardcore, bro.
Yeah,
He
yeah. That's what
hardcore.
he.
I
That's
know
how he.
all his clothes
That's
smell like smoke. All his clothes smell like smoke, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did, man. And you know how he used to dress? He used to dress just like you see in my picture, man. Always dapper, man. Old
All
school.
the time,
Old school, man.
all the
He
time.
have he have his pipe in his mouth, and in his hand he have his little, his little sippy,
Yeah,
and he be out there on the dance floor doing his thing.
yeah. If you see somebody with a cup like this, if
Like
you see
that. Yeah,
somebody with
there
a
you
glass
go.
like this,
That's it.
the
That's it.
stemless wine glass, you know they know what they
That's
do.
it. He has that cup, he has his pipe in his mouth, and he got his two-step going.
Yeah, yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Smooth with it too. Smooth
Move.
with it.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, so let me on the Knicks front, right? I just want to ask y'all this. If the Knicks struggle with the Pistons or their first round opponent, would you lose faith in the direction of the team, or are you leaning more towards you're glad they're figuring it out and didn't lose?
Uh, if wait, if they struggle,
Yeah, struggle. 7 games in the first, 6 games in the first round.
it's hard for me to make complete assessments of this unit because we've kind of been forced to play in one specific way that we see Tibbs have a view for 60 games in an 80 game season. And if that's the case, that's because we've been scouted. So it's hard for me to even give a correct view on this team if I don't think they've been maximized or attempted to be
Oh,
maximized. Now,
I
granted,
think you misunderstood. I think you misunderstood the question. So I'm not asking like for expert analysis on it.
okay,
I'm asking for your feeling on it.
like how would I feel about them going
Yeah,
into the next round if they won
Ye-
in just
yeah.
six?
Like, how would you feel if the Knicks struggled 6 or 7 games with the Pistons, 6 or 7 close games, and the Knicks, win Game 7 by 8 points in the Garden, but it's tied going into the fourth quarter, and Jalen Brunson carries us home in Game 7.
Game seven against them, not good. I'm not feeling good at all.
Okay, okay,
No, no, no. If they went 7 games against the Pistons, no.
okay,
So a lot of things went wrong
okay. So
to me personally.
your feeling is
For the
not
talent level that we like, we can say they're tough, but like there's a big discrepancy in talent level between the two teams. And if it goes that far, there's a lot of things that went wrong to me. And I don't then to me it was like we gonna get gentlemen swept the next round, no matter who it is the next round. Because we talking about the 1 and 2 seed at that point.
right.
And at that
Yeah,
point,
I
if we're
would.
going seven with them, then we not even laying a dent on the next team. No,
Yeah, I
because
would. I would.
I'm almost 100% sure if you put the Pistons in front of the Celtics and the Cavs, they are steamrolling them teams.
Yeah, I would be concerned as well. I would look at like, wow, okay, you beat them, but you know, what have you learned? I always say when you go, whether you win or lose or whatever, you always got to look and see it. What you learned from that series. What allowed this team to be so successful. What allowed them to take you this far. We know that we are a more talented team, but what went wrong to allow it to get to this juncture where we're extended, and now we got to turn around and play Boston. That's not good. That's not. I would say that's not good at all. You have to take a look at ourselves, as a team, and it definitely ain't a good look going into the next round. So
And so the reason why I ask y'all that it's not a trap question, but it's a question to have us remember also. Like basically, this is the Tom Thibodeau formula, right? Outside of the Cleveland series where we beat them 4 games to 1, mostly we're like a 6 or 7 game series team. Outside of us losing to Atlanta that bubble year, the COVID year, I mean, the real COVID year, not the bubble year, but I'm talking about the COVID year, right? Outside of that, the Knicks under Tibbs is here's our when we lose. This is how we lose, right? Lost to Atlanta 4 games to 1, right? 2020 year, the reemergence of COVID decimated the Knicks roster. I don't count that year towards Tibbs' resume, right? Because I think in a regular year, Tom Thibodeau would have had that team in the playoffs. I don't count that season, and I know I should, but I don't, because I think Tibbs in a normal year, Tibbs would have had that team in the playoffs, probably as a 7 seed, right? And then the year after that, we lose to Miami in 6, and then last year our exit was Indiana in 7, and in all those playoff losses, the one thing I can point to is we had a team put away, except Atlanta, right? Well, no, you can say Atlanta too. You can say Atlanta also. We had teams put away, and then one coaching mistake tipped the series, and we couldn't recover. Right? Last year, remember this, last year, the Knicks lost to Indiana in 7, right? But the Knicks had a 2-0 series lead, dog. The Knicks had a 2-0 series lead and a lead late in the fourth quarter in game 3 in Indiana. Right? And Nimhart bailed them out with a 29-foot three because Jalen Brunson didn't stay with his man. I'm not knocking Brunson on that. I'm just saying this is something that happened. I'm not knocking Brunson because in that game 3 without Jalen Brunson, Indiana probably just blow us out. Right? So I'm not blaming Brunson for that. What I'm saying is Andrew Nimhart got a wide open look from 29 feet and he made it. And after that, it was a fight the rest of the way, every game. Then OG gets hurt, and then now you're like, how many more injuries can we take? The year before that, Miami, we lose to Miami in game 6. And this is I'm gonna put a rock in IKBM Dre's shoe. Dre, you remember that game 6 when Tibbs took out Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle at the same time and put in Deuce and Obi?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the fourth quarter, and Indiana just rushed back and took the lead from us. Because when Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle went to the bench, we were thinking what a game 7 in the Garden was going to feel like, right? Cash, we were doing a game on playback TV, right? We were doing it on playback TV, right? Or I can't remember where we were. We might have been just watching the game, might have been calling the game here on Lawrence Tears, right? But the Knicks had a 7-point lead or so, something like that. He put in Deuce and Obi, and Miami just run past us, take the lead, and we could never recover. It's like one mistake, right? And if you go all the way back to game 1 against Atlanta, when all you have to do is get Trae Young to miss a shot, and the Knicks have a 1-0 series lead. You remember that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Tibbs brought in a ice cold Frank Ntilikina, and he had Taj Gibson on the floor playing perimeter defense. Y'all remember that? When Taj was trying to switch onto Trae, he's like, "No, Frank," and he stopped Frank. And when Frank stopped, Trae Young went right around and hit the floor in the paint. And you're like, why is Taj Gibson on the floor?
He can't move them puppies.
Taj Gibson was
my
59
God.
years old.
He moving like he had Tim's on.
Yep, he couldn't move them puppies, man.
Yeah, but the thing about Taj is, why did Taj stop Frank from getting Trae? Y'all remember that? Anybody remember that game 1? Trae Young became Ice Trae in that moment.
Yeah.
He wasn't thinking, man. Wasn't thinking. Always say when you have your foot on your opponent's throat, you gotta go for the juggler, man. You can't lighten up. You gotta keep your foot on the gas pedal. That comes with a mentality, man. You can't have mercy.
Tibbs coaches to not lose. He don't coach to win.
Why didn't you just keep a defensive lineup that included Elfrid Payton, Frank Ntilikina, Reggie Bullock, and just in case, right? Because you could have had Reggie Bullock in that Taj spot, right? And regardless what defender Trae tried to attack, he would have had a longer, more athletic defender on him to make that shot difficult. But we had Taj Gibson in there though, dog.
Yep.
At the top of the key.
Yep. Mistake.
Dre, you remember the
For
game?
an example, like when we it's interesting you mentioned that, Freezy, and I look at our team like now, as good as Cat is on offense, on defense, he becomes a target.
His
And
rim
we know
protection is
and we know
terrible.
why. We've seen it with the drop coverage, this, that, and the other. And teams are gonna try to exploit that. It's already been documented on film. So the question is going to be is what's going to be the recourse? What is Tibbs going to do to um, kind of hinder hinder a team exploiting that type of matchup? Same thing with Brunson, man. I mean, teams already have seen the film and know that they're going to attack Brunson and they're
Yeah,
going to attack Cat.
right.
So what are you going to do to remedy that? He's supposed to be the defensive guru, so he, work that out, work it out.
Cash, the point that I'm getting at is not Tom Thibodeau himself. You feel me? Like I'm not saying fire.
hmm No,
What
no,
I'm
I'm not
saying
saying
is,
fire Tibbs. No.
what I'm saying is in these moments, why do you need drop coverage when teams are gonna hit shots from the Dre? You notice all the examples I gave were perimeter shots away from the rim, right?
Yeah,
Why are we in drop coverage? What are we talking about?
because Tibbs prioritizes rebounding and needing his 7-footer in the paint as much as possible for that.
But
That's why he wants the drop coverage.
but hit me out on it because I listen. I'm not questioning you, right? I'm not
You questioning his logic.
right. So yeah, that's why I'm asking you to hit me out on it. Like I'm not questioning you, but in that moment when Andrew Nimmer was 30 feet away from the rim, what do you need rim protection for?
Were we up 3? What was the score? I don't even remember the score.
Yeah, we were, bro. Remember, we had a 7-point lead. Indiana went on a run, a barrage from three. Remember, we were scoring with them, but
Yeah.
they barraged us from three because we were getting twos and they were getting threes,
Yeah.
right?
We kept sitting in that drop and they just kept taking the 3.
It just bombed. Yep, yep, yep. And because you remember in that game three, they discovered that Pascal Siakam can knock down that fadeaway free throw line shot over OG. Remember that? Remember they went to that. Remember they went to that thing because that was a consistent way for them to score, but it stopped everything else. Like when they went to that, that was like an ISO play. And so if Pascal missed, we would kill them on the boards, right? For that set. I'm not saying overall, right? But when a team needs a three-pointer, why are we in a rim protection defense? Right? And so, Dre, here's another example. Remember when we had Philly on the ropes and last year and Buddy Hield caught fire? Remember Buddy Hield hit that fadeaway three in the corner? And we were
Yep.
like, holy crap. If Buddy Hield saw that shot went in, bro, now everybody is gonna be knocking down threes because you basically got to smother and double Buddy. And sure enough, bro, as soon as he hit that three went in, Maxie took us to school, right? And Tom
Freeze,
Thibodeau put
Freeze,
Mitchell Robinson on the floor and Tyrese Maxey up fake Mitch and got the 3-point play. Remember the 3 free throws?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we were like, what the fuck? Why is Mitch on the floor?
Even in a drop, it couldn't stop it. And then here's the thing. Mitch was out there in the drop and he tied the game while Mitch is standing at the 3-point line guarding nobody. He's pulling out from 35
At the logo.
when you should just be switching that from rip. When you know they need a 3 to tie the game.
Right. And so Cash, this is what I'm saying to you. Like, I'm not doubting Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's fantastic.
Right.
Mikal Bridges gets a very, very, very bad rap, especially since all the things we ask him. We ask him to make up for Josh and Brunson,
Well,
right?
situational. I would probably say is in terms of a defensive scheme. Um, not necessarily questioning Thibodeau, but I'm like, if I know they need a three, I'd just be willing to give up the two, play five out. Everybody outside the 3-point line. I mean, unless you pull up from the logo. Well, no, not even that really. I mean, pick up 94 feet. Just don't let them get a three. I mean, if somebody blow by you and they get a layup or a dunk, you might have to live with that, man. It's like give or take, and everybody just scramble for the rebound or something. I
Cash, you
mean,
remember Buddy Ryan? You remember Buddy Ryan,
yeah,
the Eagles
46
coach?
defense. Yeah,
You remember him? And
yeah,
you remember he used to tell people, man, no, it's not the defense, it's the personnel. Remember the scheme? He was like, no, it's
yeah.
not the scheme, it's the personnel. We just got to get, you know, and teams were like, you know what? We're not going to be able to throw regular passes against Buddy Ryan defense. So what we'll do is dink and dunk them to death and make them make undisciplined plays. Right? You remember how the 49ers used to just throw the ball to Rathman? You remember Tom Rathman, the
Yeah,
49ers
yeah,
quarterback?
yeah. It'd just
And they're
be
like,
like a
we just
swing
gonna,
pass, like three
yeah,
or
we
four
just gonna
yards. Yeah,
throw it to Rathman and Roger Craig, and we're gonna make Seth Joyner tackle all game.
yeah, to
And
neutralize the defense.
yep, and sure enough, a Reggie White pass rush was ineffective because by the time Reggie White beat his man, the play already gone downfield. And Reggie White might be the greatest football player of all time in his prime. But Reggie White need 3 seconds to get back there, and Joe Montana getting the ball out of his hands in a second and a half. Now Reggie White at 290 going full speed one way, got a reverse pivot, and then run full speed back the other way. And now you like got this man in like this thing where he neutralized because of scheme. And that's what I feel like teams are doing at Tom Thibodeau, right? They're not going to attack. They're not just going to charge straight into the teeth of a defense with Cat and Mitch right there, right? What they're going to do is shoot threes over the top of it at about a 38, 39% clip, right? Get the Knicks down, right? And then force the Knicks bench unit to be a plus unit when Jalen Brunson and Cat are on the bench, right? And then now you have our second unit trying to make up a 9-point deficit, and they can't. They lose it. By the time Brunson gets back, it's an 11-point deficit. Now Jalen Brunson has to be absolutely perfect in every move he makes, and when he's not, the Knicks lose.
It's you preaching. I think it's one of those things where Tibbs has an approach that's kind of outdated, to be absolutely honest. And it's an approach that reduces what we had. It reduces the margins that we can win within.
Right,
It's why like we scratch out games with lesser opponents because we kind of rely on Brunson to do everything correctly. Because if he doesn't do it, there's just a whole lot of stagnancy going on.
right,
It's unfortunately Brunson's greatness
right.
is a crutch. So you
And
can't you can't always rely on the pushing the Jalen Brunson button to save you from everything. We tried it against the Lakers and it didn't work.
right. And so I'm glad you said that, like phrase it in that sense. Chat, chat, listen to what Dre said, right? Dre, IKDM Dre basically said a good coach depends on his star to be perfect every night. And when his star is not perfect and we lose, we have to live with it because more often than not, that star is going to be perfect and you'll win,
Yeah.
right? And so, but when your star in his situation faces a better star on a better team, then your formula doesn't work.
You gotta cook something else up,
You should cook something else up,
or you
right?
gotta attempt to at least. But we don't even attempt. We just gonna run the same thing.
We're just gonna try harder.
And it's not that he's a bad coach. It's just there's certain levels that you have to aspire to if you're trying to win a championship, especially if you have ingredients that aren't picture perfect. But there's talent. There's an abundance of talent on this team.
Right.
But you got to figure out a way to make it meld together.
So I have an idea. I
Yeah,
have an idea. And my idea is this: Mitchell Robinson playing power forward minutes and Mikal Bridges playing point guard minutes. Right. I don't think Mitch
playing with
is
another big
yeah, I don't think Mitchell I don't
and
believe in the power forward thing anymore.
and
Because
Mikal being an aggressive on ball guy, like running pick and roll and certain things of that nature.
you saw bro, in the
Right,
Sacramento
being a
game,
playmaker. Because when
you
you say
saw
Mitchell Robinson at the four, it's like you mean Mitchell Robinson playing with someone that's skilled enough to be at the four. Because
no no no
Mitch
no
ain't got no power forward skill.
no, hear me
Not
out
in
on it.
today's league.
Hear me out on it though. Let me explain
Are
it.
you frozen?
I'm gonna explain what I
Hold
mean.
on.
Right. I don't believe power forwards in the NBA exist anymore. And
Maybe
I'll
my
probably say
Wi-Fi.
that probably about seven or
Hold
eight
on.
times a night. I think the classic power forward has morphed into a jumbo wing. Right. When I look at Kevin Durant, when I look at Giannis, I don't see power forward. I see jumbo wings. Right. That's what I see. Okay. That was Cash saying he out of here. Okay. So when I see Mitchell Robinson, what I think we need to do is tap into. I think we need to
My
tap.
bad. My internet went out.
Oh man, my internet went out last night, bro.
Yeah.
During the game.
What was the last part you heard from me?
I think I can't remember
Because I was
because I had
like,
a I was
you
trying to
mean
stay. I was
I
trying to
was
stay on track.
asking, I was posing a question like playing Mitchell with a power forward, right? Like
No,
him
you
playing alongside another big.
I'm asking you to save the question till I explain it, and
Okay.
then
All right.
that way you'll see where I'm going with it.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. My fault.
All right. So my thing is, I don't see power forwards in the NBA now as the real sense of what a power forward is. Right? Power forward averages 18 or 16 points, 12 rebounds, a block and a half, maybe a steal. Right? Right. I think the classic power forward model is going away because Jason Tatum is not a power forward.
It's a big wing.
He's a jumbo wing.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is not a power forward. He's a jumbo wing.
That-
Giannis, and this is gonna blow people's mind, right? Giannis and Kevin Durant are listed as the same size. 6'11", 240. Right? Right? And if Kevin Durant's a jumbo wing and Giannis is the same size and more athletic, doesn't that make Giannis a jumbo wing also? Right? And
yeah.
so my thing is, another an example, Jaren Jackson Jr. doesn't put up classic power forward numbers because he's asked to do jumbo wing stuff. Right? He's asked to zone up on the weak side and be the weak side rim protector. Right? Evan Mobley. Right? We'd like to think Evan Mobley is a center playing power forward in this era since whenever they move on from Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley is going to be the future of the center position. Nah, he's a jumbo wing. He can handle the ball. He can pass, right? So when I see Mitch, I see Mitchell Robinson as an elite athlete off the ball, away from traffic. I think when you put Mitchell Robinson in traffic, you neutralize what Mitchell Robinson can do. Right? Defensively, I mean. Defensively.
Yeah.
When you anchor Mitch at the rim, you're asking teams to double Mitch and put two bodies on Mitch every time there's a play at the rim. Right? But if you ask him to be Rasheed Wallace defensively, I think all of a sudden you're tapping into his superpowers where he can be the best of both worlds. He can be very strong and very athletic at the same time.
Agile, especially after losing weight. Like
Yeah,
the thing, yeah, you kind of cap his ceiling because he's really good at protecting the rim in the most basic sense. But
right.
you don't. There's no problem with you utilizing him in that way at times. But sometimes you got to change it up. You got to show teams different looks. Like when you go around the league and you canvas the league, teams be playing 2-1-2 zone with their center at the one, damn near at the free throw line, and he's hovering around, allocating and clogging up space
Right.
because their centers can move around. Like Mobley was in that one as the two in the 2-1-2 zone that I saw the Cavs run.
Yeah.
They put their longest, rangy, athletic guy on their team, and ask him to basically cover up the middle of the lane
Right.
single
Knowing that he's
handedly.
going to get help wherever he goes in that zone, he's going to have somebody in that zone to help him.
Yeah, but
Right.
he get
Or wherever,
it's
or
like
if the
a
ball goes around the perimeter of that zone, he's the back line of defense, regardless whether it's the left wing, right wing.
if someone drives, he's
Yeah,
gonna be there.
he's going to be that person, that second line of defense right there. You have to get by, and he's the longest, most athletic, agile guy of the group to do that.
Yeah, and but it's like when you say that we're severely limiting him or capping what he can do on defensively, it's well, if you're not going to have a coach that's afraid to ever run zone concepts or principles at any point, we don't even try. I don't. We probably the only team in the league that's never tried a 2-3 zone, the most basic of the basic.
Right.
Just never tried it. And
Right.
when we come out of timeouts, teams just throw it at you just to throw you off,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's just like at some point you can't be that stubborn about it.
They do that to take away the rim look.
Yeah, well, to be fair, they do that to take away the rim look, but when you're coming out of a timeout, usually because man to man is the most basic concept, they're assuming that you're going to run a man to man, and our play that's coming out is going to disrupt that
Right.
or score on it,
Right.
whether it's creating a 3-point look or, as you said, getting to the rim.
Right. And so the reason why I say this with Mitch is it's simple. Right now it's simple. Mitch is not in game shape.
Yeah,
Right. No matter how
he's
much of a
gassed. He's
fan,
gassed after 3-4
yeah,
minutes.
no matter how much of a fan you are of Mitchell Robinson, Mitch's timing is not there. Now, I'm not saying it'll never be there. I'm saying that man has been off from basketball for 9 months. We got to relax. Right. Mitch is not going to come. Mitch is not his peak self yet. Yeah, we got to relax with you know, what Mitch can do and all that stuff, man. Mitch got to work his way back in shape. Right. This is just what he's got. He's human. And we're speaking about him as if he's superhuman. He's not. No NBA player is superhuman. Right? What I would do, it's just me. It's just me. What I would do is when I play Mitch and Cat together, even though I don't like it, what I would do is take into account both players' mobility, right? Like Cat is a nimble defender in his little space. Like as long as you don't ISO Cat like on one side of the court by himself,
He can't
Cat.
funnel. He's good at funneling, like
No,
a
I'm
guy
just,
that's trying to isolate to
no,
another.
I'm saying like Karl Anthony Towns can guard anybody in the NBA in a small area. Like Cat can guard anybody in the NBA in 400 square feet. Kind of like with him and Luka the other game, where Luka kept every move in Luka bag, and Luka couldn't get past Cat, so he hit a fadeaway on Cat. Right? LeBron tried to go by him and then had to do a snatch dribble and back up and then go left, and then he couldn't go by him, and then he went behind the back and went back right and then shoot a fadeaway he missed. Right?
Don't go anywhere with those moves.
Yeah. See, Cat can guard that in about 400 square feet, but when you like the other game where Jason Tatum had him in about 800 square feet, where now it's just a 230-pound athlete going around a 250-pound athlete. It's just
He's
physics.
just too nimble.
Yes, physics, right? So the thing is with Mitch, and for the Mitch truthers, right? I'm neutral on Mitch. So it seems like every time I critique Mitch, it's like people think I'm hating, or every time I praise Mitch, right? The people that hate Mitch think that I'm a Mitch truther. I'm like in the middle. I understand who Mitch is, right? I would take advantage of the things he's able to do right now. I don't care what Mitchell Robinson looked at like at age 22. He's not 22 anymore, right? I am tapping into what Mitch can do right now. And clearly he can move his feet side to side. His defensive stance is good, right? He's very long, very agile, gets winded very easy, right? And he's fragile. Mitch is fragile right now. And it's the reason why he hadn't played more than 15 minutes. It's the reason why he hadn't played on a back-to-back yet, because he's not there yet. And the Knicks want to make sure that they get him to the playoffs. Right? How I do it, he's got to guard jumbo wings. That's what I'm doing. Right? Jumbo wing responsibility and weak side rim protector where he can block shots unaccosted.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do.
That makes complete sense. You see teams that do that, they do that to a T, as you explained. OKC is doing that right now. The Cavs have been doing that.
Yeah.
The Celtics run double bigs better than we do.
Yeah.
And all we've been doing is trying to force Precious Achiuwa with Cat like it's supposed to work, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, because Precious is not a big.
Yeah.
Precious is a wing with a big mentality, but Precious is not a shot blocker. Like Precious doesn't block shots that centers will block. Precious blocks shots that basketball.
He surprises guys when he blocks their shot. Like saying, he's not even supposed to be here to block this.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So if I'm Tom Thibodeau, and I know Tibbs will probably see this, right? Tibbs will probably see this and think that I know more basketball than everybody. Nah, no coach knows everything about basketball. Now you may be experienced and you may know a lot, but no one person knows everything about basketball. And it's the reason why when a coach does something new, people copy it. Like legit teams right now are still running triangle principles in their offense.
Yeah.
Right. And the Bulls won a championship 30 years ago.
Shout out to Tex Winter.
Yeah. You want to get some guys open. The defense is doing something crazy, man. Run some triangle principles for a little bit, kind of mix their mind up, and then go back to what you were running. I have one thing I want to ask you though.
Yep.
Since it's you and I here rocking by ourselves, right? What is the upside to the 5-out offense? Not the result, right? Like I already know what the 5-out offense does, right? I ran the 5-out offense in high school in the early 80s, 82, 83, right? But what's the upside for the Knicks running the 5-out offense with their personnel?
Getting guys like Mikal downhill without being so averse of contact, because naturally he's just not trying to get a whole lot of contact. If he has to focus on just beating one guy and having a free look at the rim, then that makes you even more efficient. I feel like we don't trust him enough, and he's not an elite playmaker, but he can do some things with the ball in his hand. And once you have a true 5-out offense, it allows him to be more effective at the things that he's good at already. When you asking him to beat his man and then another man, then you notice then he's starting to take fadeaway jumpers because that's his natural inclination. Because he knows he's going to get the fadeaway jumper off. He's not sure he's going to get his layup off of a big after he beats his man.
Right.
And when you have a true 5-out, you only got to beat one guy, and that creates that also makes Cat's drives more explosive or more effective. It takes wear and tear off of Brunson when he's attacking over and over and over because he's
Yeah.
not running into multiple bodies like he. The reason why Brunson has such a deadly floater is because he's so used to having to use that because he's usually running into someone else after he beats his man.
Right.
Like there's a reason why his percentages directly at the rim go up when like guys like Deuce are on the court because there's like guys that are just on the court that on the scouting report as known to let it fly. And when you have more and more guys of that caliber on the court, it allows your superstar player to get easier looks at the rim. Like when you talk about like the Celtics, the point of the Celtics 5-out offense isn't just to take threes. It's really they really want a shot right at the rim. That's their number one preferred option, a layup. That's what they would prefer. But once they get you moving and shaking and overreacting and trying to protect the paint, that's when they barrage you with threes because it's almost a natural inclination from a basketball sense. They train you to take away the rim at every level before anything. That's what they train you to do. They train you to backpedal, stop the ball handler, protect the rim because the rim is most sacred. And then they play on your natural inclination to protect the rim, and then they take threes that way. And if you don't, if you and it like their whole game plan is to play with your tendencies and confuse you.
A
And
lot
once
of
you play
teams,
it,
every team they try to do that. Boston's the best at it though.
yeah, and I'm saying they try to do it from a roster composition standpoint and from a schematic standpoint. Whereas some teams do one of the other. Some teams will take a whole bunch of threes schematically, and they don't really necessarily have the roster to do it. And then some teams have the roster to do it, and they don't really lean into it as much as they can. They're like the blend of two teams the Cavs and the Celtics are a blend of both like principles. They just do it in slightly different ways.
Yeah, and so what I see, and so I'm not an expert on the 5-out offense. I know it really well though. I ran it in high school a couple of seasons, right? So the one thing you mentioned is the essence of the 5-out offense because you said a lot, but the bare bones of it is the point that you mentioned. One defender guarding one person.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the reason why you want to run the 5-out offense because the 5-out offense means if one defender has a temporary lapse, they're going to give up a bucket. Right. Regardless who that defender is, all 5 offensive players have to be a threat, but not only a threat to shoot it, but quickly get it to an open person that can shoot it. Right. For give an example, or one of the tenants in a 5-out offense, if somebody has the ball more than 2 seconds, you're running a 1-4 set. Right.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you see one person like dribble, 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 all of a sudden the 5-out is already gone. Right? Already gone. Because the defenders have to have their head on the swivel for shots, passes, back cuts, and screens. And as soon as one person stalls the offense a little bit, now you can reset and look at where the ball is.
Yep.
Right. And so that's one of the things that happens in our offense. We dribble the ball, we say 5 out, but it's not really 5 out. Like our principle, we getting a 5 out spread, we look like a 5 out.
But teams don't guard us like a 5 out.
They won't because they don't need to.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to. As soon as somebody dribbles the ball 3, 4, 5 seconds, the defenses they can reset. Right? They can reset, get into their set half court defense, and now you've given them the power to do a set. Yup.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's good, Core?
Yeah, boss.
What's
I bet
up, man?
you about to be up all night, ain't you?
Well, yeah, I'm straightening up some stuff, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Because I had a nice long 2 day nap.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I feel a hell of a lot better though.
Yeah, man. This week been busy. Business tax returns due this week. Well, actually next Monday, since the 15th is on a Saturday. So you already
Mm.
know Thursday, Friday, Saturday gonna be bonkers for me, bro.
Hey, it is what it is, man. Gotta eat, right? Get it?
Hell yeah, I gotta eat right.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? The cost of being your own boss.
Well, I work for somebody now, though.
Like I said, still the cost of being your own boss.
Yeah, I still work for somebody else, though.
All
Yeah, I
right.
still gotta still. But anyways,
Get back to your conversation.
the 5 out offense, man. As soon as somebody holds the ball for 2.5, 3 seconds, all the switches and transition and all of that stuff. Now I can grab Lee and push him out to guard Allen Iverson while I guard Tyrone Hill, right? Because I was on AI. I'm trying to stay with AI, running around and all that stuff. Soon as Eric Snow dribbled the ball for 4 seconds, I'm pushing Lee out there and not pushing him like that in that sense. But no, go, go, go. So Lee can guard AI because Lee's a better athlete than me, right? And now we're in our set defense against a fake 5 out with 13 seconds left to go on the shot clock. And now we scrap what we're doing. We pulling Karl Anthony Towns up from the box to the top of the key. That's going to take a second and a half. Jalen Brunson ain't going to wait for the screen because the shot clock winding down. OG ain't going to cut because he don't know what Jalen Brunson is going to do. Bridges is going to wait in a spot up spot, knowing that he's not a spot up shooter. And now the defense is like, Jalen Brunson is going to take this shot, just defend Brunson.
Yeah. I mean, it comes with the territory when you kind of have like a guy that teams don't want to react to. But you've seen within the Kings game alone, him actually taking threes, they immediately stopped putting the center on him. And when they stopped putting the center on him, you saw how he hit Cat in that passing lane where Cat did a no look pass to OG in the corner.
Yeah.
That play wouldn't have happened if a center was on Josh Hart because that center would have clogged up that whole passing lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you have to be an active and willing threat from the 3 point line in order for
Yeah.
any of our actions to work. Like remember when Josh was shooting like 38% from three, we were pushing up on historic offense territory
Yeah.
for like the first 2 3 months of the season. And then he lost confidence in his jumper, and then he made it completely easy for us to be guarded. And it doesn't help that like it's not even a Josh Hart thing. Like Tibbs will see him actively tank the offense, and he'll just leave him out there for 40 minutes, and it's not tenable. Like I can't even blame Josh for that. If Josh doesn't have confidence in his jumper, as a coach, you got to see like, yo, I need something else right now because Josh is not giving it to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
you saw how he started. He started out the game taking shots. He made some shots, thankfully,
Yeah.
and
He
then
made
they
some good
immediately
shots,
took
though. He didn't just make some shots. He made some fantastic shots, bro. He hit a step
the,
back three on a wing.
the one step back, but that was after he already made like three threes
Yeah.
at that point.
That's still a good shot, though, Dre.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
He
spectacular
was
shot, but he
confident.
would never even think of it if he didn't make the first three ones.
Yeah. But he still made it, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I give it to him. He needs to. He been shooting what 20% from three over the last 2.5 months. Like you got to put him up. You can't be a 6'4" center in today's league. You just can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with him making no shots, taking no shots, and making no shots, it warped the defense to the other team. And then after that, there was nothing they could do to guard us. Nothing. We got looks in the paint. We got open 3-pointers, and they were a team that was playing solid defense
Yeah.
coming
The
into that
Kings are
game.
a good team.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where Josh's impact, for better or worse, warps how good we can be. Like he's our floor and our ceiling in one player.
And yep, at the same time. Yep. At the same time.
That's a lot you just put on one player, bro.
It's a lot because Tibbs plays him 40 minutes, and he will never not play him 40 minutes. So at that point, it's gonna be a lot on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I wouldn't say these things if he played 25 minutes a night, but he doesn't.
Um, I wouldn't agree with Dre if we didn't see the nonsense with our own eyes. Like legitimately, we saw Josh Hart turn the ball over on an inbound pass.
The game on the line
Why
against the
you why are
Lakers,
you
and
why are you lean Lee, you know this, bro. You played sports before. Why are you leaning over the inbound line on a simple inbound pass?
I agree
On
with
the
you. I thought he would throw it over the
when
top.
you could literally run up and down the sideline,
or Dre, you know what you could do too?
call
You could
timeout.
you could take a deep breath. You could be like, they're overplaying Deuce, right? At a bare minimum, I can wave Bridges back down the floor, right? And if Bridges don't come back down the floor, and because the thing is, when you over there, the referee is counting to himself, but they always count loud enough for you to hear them. That's one of the things that people don't know. Like on the 8 count, the referee is counting to himself, but loud enough for you to hear him. You're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can hear they don't blow the whistle until they finish saying the word 5, right? Josh leaned over the line with one leg and threw a bad pass to Deuce, and then looked at Bridges like, "Yo, why you ain't come get the ball?" Josh,
If anyone else did that, they on the bench.
they on the bench, right? These are the
So
little things. I'm not knocking Josh. Like I already know during the course of the game, Josh is Lee. What's the character from Batman? The one that flipped the coin.
Two Face.
Two Face.
Yeah, we already know that he Harvey Two Face.
He's mercurial. So you got
Yeah,
to that like it's not a Josh thing. It's a Tibbs thing. And I get frustrated at Josh because Tibbs be letting him just
be
spiral
Josh.
out of control instead of
Yeah,
checking it.
yeah, yeah.
Tibbs will literally Tibbs will watch him Josh Hart drown and just let him drown.
Right, because he know Josh. Because Josh is like Jason. You ain't gonna kill him. He'll be back, bro. Another sequel, Halloween Part 49.
Yeah.
Right, because he'll do that during the because Josh will make 4 bonehead plays in a row, and then down by 1, he'll knock down a corner 3 to give us the lead, and you forget about all the 4 plays that got you to that point.
John Starks.
Bro, the number 3 is cursed, bro.
That's a heavy number to wear.
Bro, who wore number 3 before him? Nerlens Noel?
But for him,
Before Josh, yeah. Nerlens Noel, right?
Nah, I don't
didn't
think so.
Trey Burke wear it? I think Trey Burke wore it.
No, Nerlens the one. Bro, I
Well,
was
before
about
him.
yeah, I was about 10 feet away from Nerlens Noel with number 3 on it. Lee, you remember Lee? Were you with us the playoff game? No, this is before Corey Lee. When we were in Atlanta for Game 3, the Friday night.
No, I was with y'all, but I wasn't with y'all.
Okay,
I was just coming to the game.
Yeah,
I was
Nerlens
just
Noel
in
wore
the
it,
game.
okay.
and Tim Hardaway did wear it. I know he did wear
He
it.
wore that and 5. Like he wore 5 first and then 3 when he came back, right?
Yeah. Brandon Jennings. Yeah. I got one for you, Sean Williams.
Oh, I liked Sean Williams, bro.
Sean Williams would have got a bag in this NBA.
And this 6'9" athlete that can knock down the 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, Sean Williams, bro. If we had him right now, we the champs, bro.
Right
And not
next to
because
Cat.
he's that good, but
Because
I
he's
think
a
he's
good
like the
fit.
missing piece.
Yeah, he's a good fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jose Calderon wore it.
Hmm.
Mo
Didn't Sergio
Harkless.
Rodriguez wear it? Sergio Rodriguez wore it, right?
No.
The dude with the Larry O'Brien trophy tattooed on the inside of his
I'm
arm.
looking at the entire list of Knicks players that wore number 3.
Right,
He's not
right.
on it.
Okay.
I didn't even know Dennis Scott was on the Knicks.
I forgot.
Dennis Scott was on the
What?
Knicks
Oh,
in
Penny Hardaway
'99.
wore it.
Yeah, Penny wore it. Tracy
Yeah,
wore
I
it.
forgot Penny Hardaway because somebody had number 1. Um,
No. On here it doesn't say Penny. Penny wore 1 for us.
Penny wore 1. Who wore
Yeah, he
number
wore
3?
1.
Was
Tracy
it
McGrady
Jalen
wore
Rose?
3.
Who?
Tracy McGrady wore 3.
Yeah, T-Mac. T-Mac wore number 3. That's why he. Yeah.
Yeah. I
You're
got one
right. And
for
they
you.
were here at
Rick
the same
Carlisle
time,
wore
right?
number 3 before John Starks.
Who won number
Rick
3?
Carlisle wore number 3 before
I thought,
Starks.
no. Oh, Scott Brooks wore number 1. Yeah, that's right. Scott Brooks
Yeah.
wore number 1 for us. Rick Carlisle and Scott Brooks. You got to be a hardcore Knicks fan to remember that Rick Carlisle and Scott Brooks battled it out for the last roster spot in '87.
Kenyon Martin
Oh
wore
my
number 3
God.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's oh
Did
wait,
Did
Trevor
Michael
Keels
Jackson win
wore
number 3 for us? Michael Jackson,
it.
the 6'5" Georgetown point guard.
I can name
He,
every player that wore it. Bob
Yeah,
Cluggish,
he was. Oh
Irv
my God, he
Rothenberg,
didn't even play in the NBA.
Al McGuire,
yeah, that's Dan
Pause,
McGuire, fella. Yeah.
Dick Bunt. That's a wild name. Don
Oh,
Ackerman, Bob Knight, Brendan McCann, Phil Rollins, Al Butler, Dave Douche, Ken Green, Rick Carlisle,
yeah.
John Starks,
Yep.
Dennis Scott, Stephon Marbury, Tracy McGrady, Sean Williams, Kenyon Martin,
Yeah.
Jose Calderon, Brandon Jennings, Tim Hardaway Jr.,
Yeah.
Billy Garrett.
Oh, Billy Garrett.
That one slipped by. Mo Harkless, Nerlens Noel,
Yep.
Josh Hart, and Trevor Keels. Trevor Keels had it early in the season, and we traded for Josh.
And we traded him to Minnesota or somewhere. We traded him to.
Yeah, I don't, that man probably on the moon by now.
Yeah, and so yeah, probably wondering how he got there. How the hell I get on the moon? But hey, but you know who? That's who Landry Shamet reminds me of, bro.
Who?
Billy Garrett.
Billy Garrett.
Billy Garrett, a 6'4", a slow 6'4", and Shamet's not slow, but for 6'4" guards, you expect them to be explosive, especially if you're a lottery pick. You expect your 6'4" guard lottery picks to be different.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, Freezie. I think Shaman's been playing solid basketball since for a little minute.
Good
I
night,
won't say
everybody.
great.
I did not want to know.
It's just solid, serviceable. Like he's a serviceable guy off the bench.
Bro, I just Lee, here come the calculated conversation, bro.
Nah, he's just
You
he's
ready for
just he's
you
been
ready for
solid
the
off the
calculated
bench.
conversation, Lee?
Okay, Freezy, we got him for the
Let's
vet
get it up.
minimum.
I'm gonna plug up mine while y'all got yours plugged up. Let's
We
Yeah.
got
go.
him for the vet minimum, and over like the last month, he's shooting 40% from three, and not terrible on
Ooh.
defense.
Ooh.
As for a vet minimum, I would pay $15 million for a guy to come off my bench and shoot 40% from three.
That's not even in volume,
It's
right?
well, that's the Tibbs thing. He's not playing enough.
That's not even in volume. And so I understand where you're going with it, right? I understand where you're going with it. Nah, no.
He's not gonna play. He's just not gonna play enough to get volume in the first place. Not with this coach.
I hope not. That means we a lottery team.
No, Sam Merrill ain't better than Landry Shamet, and he gets rotational minutes every night. Sam Merrill.
Dre, we could have drafted a rookie to do what this dude did. And I'm not banging the Ryan Dunn drum.
No.
Right.
I want to say that Memphis rookie. I would take that Memphis rookie over
Over Landry
Kolek right
Shamet
now.
right now, and he was a second round pick.
I, Freezy, that Kolek pick is looking terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. That Kolek pick, it might be worse than the Pacom pick.
Man, stop it, man. You kind of over exaggerating.
The reason why I say it, Pacom is at least 19 and like 6'8" with a shooting stroke. Like he projects to be something long term.
Yeah.
Kolek about 180, 6'2". Can't really put pressure on the rim without a screen. And he's like he needs a 3-point shot. And he doesn't necessarily have it right now. And he
It's
can't guard anybody right now. So
and he can't guard anybody right now.
so that and he's like 24 compared to like
Yeah.
Pacom.
I think Tyler Kolek is going to be a sleeper stud in about 3 years.
What he's
Less than.
27?
Less
Hmm?
than.
Yeah.
I think less than. I think by the middle of next year, that young man's gonna be some fish.
Chat, y'all see how I couldn't even explain why I think that.
Go
Y'all
ahead,
want to hear
Freezy.
why?
My fault.
Y'all want to hear why I say that?
Go ahead.
So the
Because I
reason,
cut him off.
what you say? What you
You
say,
said
Lee?
because he cut you off. Go ahead, Freezy.
Oh, bro, the reason why I say Tyler Kolek is that I think the Knicks have faith in him is because Jalen Brunson looked the same way coming out of Villanova. I ain't even go front. Like with Jalen Brunson, when I saw Jalen Brunson coming out of Villanova, I was like, he's slow, he's short, he don't have long arms. His handle then was not really NBA point guard handle. Then he don't do other stuff to make up for it, right? Like he's not gonna be Davion Mitchell until the other parts of his game show up. And I think that's the reason why Jalen Brunson was a second round pick, even though he was a fantastic basketball player. But something with Jalen Brunson clicked. And the thing that clicked for Jalen Brunson and people don't Jalen Brunson in the early years in Dallas was a pick and roll maestro, right? Like when he got a screen, he could process stuff so fast that he could manipulate the defense, not by eye manipulation, but being 3 steps ahead of them in the pick and roll coverage, right? Like he could legit manipulate a pick and roll, right? To the point where now you're sagging off of a dude that wasn't necessarily a traditional NBA scoring point guard, and now you're letting him hit that floater, letting him hit that floater, letting him hit that floater. And so his touch around the rim was
But
bonkers. And then all of a sudden, as time went on, he got more and more confidence and more confidence where he knew now you can't stop him. And now when you put guys like DeJounte Murray on him and long defenders, he was just killing them in the pick and roll to the point where his confidence was sky high. And then now he's taking threes and like the whole offensive thing just come together and click.
Here's the difference.
But hold on, Jay. Let me finish my point, bro. We got time.
Oh, I didn't know you were. My
Yeah,
fault.
the reason why I'm saying this is not because of who Jalen Brunson is. Y'all already know who Jalen Brunson is. Our point was Tyler Kolek, right? And so Tyler Kolek is a pick and roll and passing maestro, right? Now, given time, he can develop into that, get his confidence in that pick and roll with more and more playing time. The only difference, though, between Jalen Brunson and Tyler Kolek is the Dallas Mavericks had Jalen Brunson in a 360 deal, right? Indentured servant wages. Tyler Kolek is a highly paid second round pick. And so if you're the Knicks, how patient are you going to be in his development considering all the money that you paid him?
Well, relative to the time, he's making a little bit more than Jalen Brunson, percentage wise, for a second round pick. They were drafted around. Jalen Brunson was like an early second round pick.
41.
Was he 41 or 31?
Was he 31?
40.
I think
No,
he
he
was
wasn't the
early.
first pick in that. He
Yeah,
wasn't the
he was
first
one
pick
of the
in that.
early second round picks.
He might have been in the third, maybe 35. Is it 35? Or was Jokic 30, 41?
He was
Oh, was
drafted
Mitch? What was
33rd
Mitch
overall.
41?
Nah, Brunson was drafted 33rd overall.
33rd. Okay. All right.
And the difference between Jalen Brunson, for better or worse, he's built almost very similarly as to when he first came into the league. He's built like a fire hydrant, and he plays off 2 feet. So he never was behind the eight ball strength wise for guards. He may have been behind the eight ball skill wise and confidence, but he could always get 2 feet in the paint. That's what he
Now the skill
always
was
did.
there. His confidence. Yeah,
But the
the skill.
confidence wasn't there. But
Yeah.
for Kolek, he's really light right now. So any type of ball pressure, like the thing I noticed that he's trying to do, and that'll keep him in the league long. He's catching the ball and just shooting it immediately because he knows a jumper will keep him in the league a lot longer. That'll make him more additive to lineups where you have other guys on the court that might be a guard, and he can benefit and just space the court because he's not necessarily going to get downhill against NBA defenders because they're just a lot bigger and stronger than him. Like Brunson played off 2 feet and was around 200 when he was drafted. Kolek, I don't know what his weight is or what it is or what it's listed as, but he just doesn't look physically strong. Like these defenders will put an arm bar on him and direct him wherever they want him to
Yeah,
go.
I was gonna say. Yeah, he's Kolek's not a little guy. He just don't play strong.
Yeah,
Right. Like you remember that boxer Lennox Lewis? Like a
a British
big
boxer.
Herculean looking dude, but he didn't
Yeah.
box strong.
Nah, that's why he relied on his jab.
Yeah, and footwork. And
You
then
can't compare the
Deontay
two in
Wilder,
footwork.
who's
And
tiny, bro. Man, Deontay Wilder is tiny for a heavyweight, right? Deontay Wilder, I think he's at his best peak. Deontay Wilder is, I think, 6'7" or 6'6", 218,
He's
right?
got a rocket for a fist.
But he got, but he got claymores, right? On at the end of his, you know what I'm saying? So, but to your point about Tyler Kolek, though, I agree with you. I think the money is an issue though because they paid him and higher than what they should have paid a second round pick, right? And no big deal because in the grand scheme of things, what are we talking like $400,000? So that's
Yeah,
not really. It's not really. It's not
it,
like yeah. It's. I think he.
they gave him a nice little bump though, more than a normal second rounder would get.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I think Tyler Kolek will be okay. It's just we have to,
Let it cook.
yeah, like rookies, bro. Every rookie is not going to come into the league and set the league on fire. Even the
Uh,
number one pick in this draft, honestly, if you ask me long term, would I prefer the number one pick in the draft or Pakam Dadier? I would take Pakam Dadier, right?
Ricochet been playing solid though lately.
But yeah, but you ask it, but I'm saying my preference.
Yeah, yeah. You what you value in a player.
Yeah, yeah. My preference is a guy that has innate skills to do a thing and athleticism versus an athlete that you can teach stuff. Right? It's like Lee. It's like who would you prefer, Randy Moss or Darius Haywood Bay?
Randy
Of
Moss.
course, you would say Randy Moss after the fact, right? But Darius Haywood Bay was blazing fast, bro. He just couldn't catch. He couldn't run routes. But if you put the ball in his hands, bro, he just needed time to develop.
Yeah.
But he went to the Raiders, who didn't have time to develop him.
Yeah.
Right? It's just
Not
Lee.
everybody can be a supernova off the rip.
Right, Lee. You remember the dude that used to play receiver for the Giants? I think his name was Jericho Cotchery. Used to play receiver for the Giants, right?
Yes, yes,
My
yes.
man used to.
For the Jets. Don't do that. Jericho Cotchery?
Yeah, from Ole Miss.
Jericho
The Ole Miss
Cotchery was
receiver.
a Jets wide receiver. Great dude, by the way.
Lee, Jets fans just have to have everything, don't they?
We,
Anyway, get to your
we
point.
never have we don't got no championships. At least can I have Jericho Cotchery?
You can
Bro,
have whatever
you
you
had Quincy Enunwa from Nebraska.
And
you can
he
have
was
whatever
gonna be
you
a
want.
dog.
You're not gonna win anything anyway.
So okay, so who had the better receivers over the years, the Giants or the Jets?
Giants.
I'm
Gotta be
leaning
the
Giants.
Giants.
I'm leaning
I'm
Giants.
gonna, I'm gonna say clutch receivers the Giants, but overall talent the Jets have had some of the better receivers
Man,
over.
we ain't no all pro guys.
What's
Like
my
y'all had OBJ and Malik Neighbors gonna be a stud.
nah, but I had a cat named Freeman, and
Yeah,
if he if his tater if he could have kept him getting his tater tat like he used to, he'd have been one of the greatest receivers you ever had.
Oh, you talking about Al Toon and Wesley Walker?
But also, yeah, is it? I thought
They
it was
they they
Freeman.
they running back was Freeman McNeil.
Freeman, Neal, my bad. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Al was Walker, but I mean they had one of them. I think it was Al Toon, and
Al
boy,
Toon.
they used to tune him up.
That man could catch hot. That man could catch hot BBs in the dark, bro. That man had better hands than Jerry Rice, and I ain't afraid to say it.
better hands than
That
Jerry
man, that
Rice.
man hands were 3 times better than Chris Carter.
I'm saying like he'd catch a pass, come across the middle, get a concussion, and still hold on to the ball.
That's
Yeah,
when they never called no flags.
that man had better hands than Kevin Knox. You remember Kevin Knox from Florida State, the Florida State receiver with Charlie Ward?
The real Kevin
His
Knox.
dad, the senior.
That man had hands like that man had Altoon hands was probably 5 times better than Reggie Wayne. That man had better hands than Brandon Lloyd. Y'all remember Brandon Lloyd, the receiver?
Brandon Lloyd, man.
Yes, sir.
What was the Niners?
Yeah, yeah.
Brandon Lloyd heads, yeah.
That man had better hands than Chris Chambers.
Oh, the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, man.
I just knew you were gonna say Chris Chambers.
Chris Chambers had glue traps, bro.
Better than Anquan Bolden?
Yeah.
Larry
And Javon
Fitzgerald?
Walker. You
You know,
remember
you know
Javon
Larry
Walker?
Fitzgerald got more forced fumbles than drops in his career, right?
Yeah, yeah. Altoon probably had 5 times better hands than Larry Fitzgerald, bro.
God,
Altoon probably had 5 times better hands than Wayne Corbett.
now
That's another
Wayne Corbett would go across the middle with no fear.
And
like
no gloves.
yep, and get his tit a tat and hold on to the football.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Bro, I saw, no lie. You know I'm a Bears fan, right? I saw Gary Fensick hit Altoon early, and on the way to the ground, Altoon caught the football. You remember Gary Fensick, right? The white safety we used to have, strong safety.
Yep, yep. He was
You
back
know,
there with my man who worked for the front office. Unfortunately, hurt himself and he ain't here with us no more. What's my
oh yeah,
man name?
Dave Dewison.
Yep.
That's what we had. You know, we had to be funny. We had what's my guy used to coach the Rams with the basic offense and Todd Gurley? Fisher.
Jeff Fisher.
Jeff was up.
Jeff
Yeah.
Fisher.
So our two reserve corners were Jeff Fisher and Todd Bowles.
You forget like all these notable coaches were actually players at
Were
some point.
actually players. Yeah. 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 And so just keeping it a stack about the Knicks conversation. I think we just gotta wait on these dudes. But the thing about it is, the thing about the Pacom Dadiers and the Tyler Koliks and the Kev McCullough are, I think they are ready. I don't think they're trustworthy. And there's a difference between being ready to be a breakout rookie and being a non-trustworthy rookie with a head coach that doesn't trust young players.
I was gonna say, is the trust thing factor subjective? Because I feel like a different coach would probably. This is my whole gripe with Tom Thibodeau. Some nights there's a low leverage
Here we
scenario.
go.
Hold on, Corey. Some nights there'll be a low leverage scenario, and you just want to get these young boys some reps, some
Right,
live action reps, and you do that in the first half. You throw him 3-4 minutes behind the wing just to buy you time, or if one of your wings get in foul trouble,
right,
you try to get some low leverage minutes out of them. I'm not asking them boys to come out here close out a game, a close game, or even close out a blowout. I'm saying you got to find pockets of time within a season to assess what a guy is doing, acquire information and data, and see how they're progressing. You
right,
don't got to throw them out there in the most important key minutes of games. When you look around the league, a lot of these rookies are not playing high leverage minutes, but you'll
right,
see them out there in a blowout for sure.
yeah,
You'll see them out there in low leverage first half minutes just to give a guy a blow.
right.
We don't do that at all, point blank, period. And it's just
No,
Can I
like
say something?
it's just
Can I
that's
say
just not
something?
what we do.
Dre, Dre. But I think the front office has figured that out to some degree, and not only just that, but also a lot of these cats that we have on our bench who probably gonna get rid of at the end of the season are on 1 year deals. And I think they designed it like that just because they they knew that they had this young talent on the team. And just maybe they just needed to sit them down to understand the speed of the game and you know and get some of the nuances and also to put them in that young tip system over in the G League and develop them that way instead of just having them sit on the bench and staring at it.
Ah, I understand. I understand where you're coming from. My
yeah,
thing frozen? Are y'all
yeah,
there? Okay, no, I can see y'all moving.
No, I
yeah,
I,
was listening.
I was gonna say I see where you coming from. Where not everyone can develop the same way or at the same pace. But
yeah,
but to me, it's just like sometimes you got to think about the bigger picture.
yeah,
And if like and It's not. You're literally. You can find low leverage minutes for a guy in the regular season, not playoff games. I'm not asking for a whole lot.
But I'm saying also too, but it's kind of hard to force feed a 19-year-old certain things, especially when they're coming from like overseas and not playing in like a college
I'm not even
structure.
talking about him. I'm talking about like Kolick. Like in those games where we had deuced out, we still sending that man to the G League. Remember
Right.
the first half of the season, Deuce was missing a bunch of games,
Yeah.
and part of the reason you draft an older rookie is they're supposed to be have
More
a
ready.
yeah, and you could just drop them in there for a couple minutes. I'm not asking for the world. I'm not just to spell Brunson, spell campaign from the duty and low leverage minutes, not closing out games. Like I'll frame it like this: in the last game against the Kings, Precious came in there just to literally give OG a break in the first half for
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 minutes, and it didn't. The world didn't end because he was in the game, and then
No.
we basically ran OG the rest of the way until the game was completely out of hand. You do that to that's how you find minutes for guys that aren't gonna be consistent rotational guys. That's the definition of like a situational player. Because that's what Precious is right now. Precious is situational.
Yo, is Matt Ryan still with the Knicks?
No, we cut him.
Why
We
isn't
got rid
Matt
of his
Ryan?
two-way.
Why
Remember?
is Matt Ryan showing up in the box score?
Um, I'm not sure about that. Maybe it hasn't registered, but we definitely released him off that
Yeah, that's
two-way.
what I thought.
Maybe he hasn't updated yet, but he's definitely not a Nick. He wasn't on the bench last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
The
but
funny part about it is, if PJ Tucker was all it took to make Josh Hart take threes, because you saw him on the bench telling him to shoot that MF. So,
yeah,
well, then we need him on that bench, man.
yeah.
I think no matter who we were gonna pick up with that 15 spot wasn't gonna be someone we were gonna play. So
Nah,
I'm not even mad that it's PJ at this point.
nah. It's a favor to an agency, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's a favor to a. That's all PJ Tucker is.
But you know it's
Right.
gonna be funny. He might be on the team next year.
I'm not mad. Me and him the same size.
I,
Me and PJ Tucker the same size. Like, how big is PJ Tucker is what 6'7" in shoes?
Is he 6'7"?
mm,
I thought he was like six
I
five.
got I think he's like 6'4", maybe 6'5" in some
Okay,
shoes.
ESPN has him listed at 6'5", 245. All
So
right.
he really like 6'4".
So we probably about the same size. You know.
You might have a better jump shot than him by now, cause ain't
Oh, I definitely have a better swag than him for sure. And
I don't know about
his
that
shoe
because he
collection.
probably got the hottest pair of sneakers right now, right now on the bench.
Yeah, but bro, I'm in my 50s. I don't care nothing about sneakers. I mean, 50-year olds that
Man,
wallow over sneakers got to do better stuff with their money. If you 50 and you know you're gonna retire in 10 years, and you think about sneakers, you, hey man, put that money away, bro. Put that put that money away. And I'm a penny pincher, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm a penny pincher. When I go to a cigar place, they be trying to get me to buy. Dre, you go to a cigar place, bro. Like first thing they gonna go, like they gonna see, they looking out the window, see what you drove, right? And then they, oh, shit, he coming in here to get the bag. I'm like, nah,
no,
I'm
that
in.
but just and to see what you gotta watch on your wrist.
Yeah, like when me and Lee walk in a cigar place, right? I'm like, nah, I wanna do samples, right? Me and Lee will go in the smoke room and then try samples. Like, hey, what kind of samples y'all got? I'm gonna buy something. I'm gonna spend $100 off rep. I'm gonna put a
Yeah.
$100 bill on the table. Like you already know I'm gonna spend money. It's just what I'm gonna spend it on, right? And so you go in there and you smoke the same. Like, Lee, what you think about this right here? Too strong, right? It ain't smooth enough, or does it burn too fast, right? Or is it just light and stinky, right? Is it like the flavor is so light, but the whole room smelling like burnt pine cones.
Mhm.
And nah, I ain't, or you try one and you're like, ooh, Lee, that's what got me buzzing. Lee, like, hey, word? Hey, here, hey. You know what I'm saying?
Swap it
You know what I'm saying?
out.
And so whatever, like when me and Lee be like, yo, which one you like the best, bro? Yo, I like the sharp tip joint. Like I like to have the ones that got a point on each end, not rounded, right? But have a point on each end. I'll take my cigar clip the end off one side, and then have that smoke funnel through that cone at the other end. Bruh, now we talking. And when you go in there, she can be like, "Hey, you like that one?" Like, yeah. We got others such and such just like it. Nah. How much is a box of these? Oh, a box of these. Oh, they $88. They're not really $88 a do. Ring me up. She like, sir, you changed. No, I'm good. I came in here to spend $100.
Yeah,
I,
keep it
I came
change.
in. Yeah, I came in here to spend $100. Spent 88. You can keep the change, but don't be trying to get me to buy no $440 box of cigars.
Nope,
Whatever. I don't smoke cigars every day.
nope,
I'll be dead. I'll be
nope,
dead, bro.
nope.
And bro,
Yep. Yeah, congestive heart disease in less than 2 weeks.
bro, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how we got sidetracked just now, but PJ Tucker and sneakers. Of course, his sneaker collection gonna be bigger than mine because I'm not trying to acquire no limited edition. Nothing's just for no collection.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me,
Turn around and play in them.
bro, if you ask me, will I buy a mobile home park now? Yeah, buy a mobile home park. Hell yeah. How about mobile home park? Have 12 people paying us rent. Lee, you think I won't?
Boy, I know you were quicker than attack lifters on ass.
Bim faster. Now I buy a mobile home park now. I do that. Fix up six, like rent six, fix up the other six, and you know what I'm saying? Get that rent money, keep that grass cut, keep the sheriff out there, keep the violence down, keep the knucklehead stuff down. Safe place to live. Hell yeah. Now I do that over somebody spending $140,000 on a necklace. But that's me though. And every time I tell, hey Dre, every time I talk like that, Lee think I'm a cornball. I can't help it, bro. That's me.
Mhm.
No. That makes sense. It makes sense because number one, you don't have that disposable type of money. Period. And
No,
if you had it, somebody with some common sense to tell you you need to take that money and invest it into something that you ain't have to worry about for the rest of your life.
I was talking to Wiz about that. Wiz and his crazy self sold a brownstone in the '80s when he should have kept it, and now the brownstone is worth like Dre. How much is a brownstone in Brooklyn worth right now?
7, $8 million.
Three, 3, 4, 5, 6 million. If you
Seven, it depends on what side of Brooklyn you in.
right,
Say you in
exactly.
Say you in Winsburg.
Oh my God, 10.
Yes, the closer you to the city, the closer you are to the city, the more money you're gonna get.
What about what? Say you in Fort Greene. What used to be Fort Greene?
5, 6. Either way, we talking about millions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I rather, bro. You think I'm a buy Lee? It's a place down here, and y'all trust. I'm gonna be on the Knicks talk. I'm just adding a little. There's a place down here in Charleston, South Carolina. I don't know if you ever heard of Charleston, South Carolina, but it's a real place, right? They have a strip where you can go buy luxury cars, right? That's how I usually go to get my cars, and I'm not telling everybody I'm a luxury guy. What I'm saying is I shop till I drop. Like legit, I will Dre, like legit, if we in Brooklyn and it's time for us to go to dinner, right? And you want to take me to a place where I know we're gonna spend. Say it's me, Dre, Free Keith, Gi, Corey Lee, Anthony D, and a bunch of others. Right? I already know the tab gonna be $1,200. I'm like, Dre, nah, we can't spend no $1,200,
Nah.
bro. What the hell we doing? I do want to eat well though, but about
Concessions have to be made.
$130 per person, bro.
I mean, you'd be lucky if it was that much in New York. You'd be lucky if it was 130.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't doing that. I'd rather say, hey, let's do a day trip tomorrow and go to Jersey and find a spot. Even if we gotta ride like a
Boom.
couple hours.
The same amount of food for less than half the cost.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
That's what
went
I'm
I went and
saying.
got a steak in Jersey. It was like $35. I'm like, what? That's it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me, I will pinch a penny to death. Me
That's
and Miss Mocha was arguing earlier over pinch a pennies.
yeah, that sounds like going to Outback, not Outback. What's my spot? We go to Longhorns, and
Yeah.
I go get the big. I get the what do you call it? The
That's exactly what I was talking about, Corey.
yeah, going to Longhorns and getting that you already know what I'm thinking about. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
can't think the giant T-bone basically.
I'm a pinch,
Oh,
bro.
instead of going to Delmonico's and getting the same thing and
Yeah.
paying like $60, 70, $80 just for the steak, not even for the sides and the atmosphere.
And your gratuity. All of that. All of that go into the cost of the, you know what I'm saying? Because if you spend $1,000, your gratuity is what? $200? $150?
Mm.
Yeah. I'll pinch a penny to death, bro. I'll put a penny in the sharpshooter. Lee, you watch wrestling, bro?
Oh yes, sir.
I will put a penny in the sharpshooter, bro.
The Cobra Clutch.
Yeah, I will put a penny in the Cobra Clutch, bro. I am money too hard to come by. And then in uneven political climate, I'll just say it that way, bro. Even more, bro. Steel cage match. I'm I'm putting a penny in the sleeper in the steel cage match, bro. Speaking of which, Dre, let me ask you this because I got another question that I want to ask, but I want to preface it first. I want to think about it a little bit first before I ask y'all, right? Who is the greatest WWE wrestler of all time?
Is this based off of what is this based off of?
It's based off
Overall?
your opinion.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm.
Actually
Lee,
wrestling, selling, being a heel, being a face, personality, mic skills. It's
right.
kind of,
The
it's
Rock.
kind of, it's kind of, it's hard to debate. You could say him or The Rock at that point. Not that I'm biased to the Attitude Era or anything before that didn't matter, but if you're talking like technician, like being a technically great wrestler, then you can go a different way. But if I'm talking about just overall, Stone Cold. For
Yeah.
me, Stone Cold.
Bob
Yeah.
Backlund. You talking about technical?
Yeah,
Bob Backlund was.
I thought he was one of the best technical wrestlers.
You talking about the
yeah,
original Kurt Angle? The original Kurt
yeah.
Angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you, Lee. Right. I From a technical aspect, I think it's Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, Bret Hart.
Right. From a technical aspect, I think it's Bret the Hitman Hart. Right. Bret wasn't the best on the microphone though.
Yeah,
Right. And Bret could be petty.
yeah.
I
He
mean,
didn't let nothing go.
yeah.
She's still not over the screw job.
Yeah. The Toronto screw. Yeah. 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 So I think technically it's probably Bret the Hitman Hart. The overall package, maybe Ric Flair.
Ooh, can't
Right?
argue
When you're
that.
talking about everything, like
Yeah, he can sell boy. He can sell water to it well.
Lee, I saw him in Columbia, South Carolina. I was on the concourse at the Gamecocks Georgia game, right? And I saw a crowd just ascend in one spot, and then the seas part, right? And me and my two sons was standing there like with nachos. We like, what's going on? You ever seen a fish tank where all the fish like go to one side and then they just split apart like that? And it was Ric Flair with a full length garnet and black fur coat with two women. Both of them were 6 foot tall blondes with martini glass shapes. You ever seen a martini glass?
Yeah.
Lee, you seen a martini glass, right?
But of course,
They were shaped like that, and they had on garnet and black fur coats, basically with nothing on under it, basically. And that man was 60. I take him over the Rock because I don't think Rock is a real
It's
wrestler.
hard to argue. It's really hard to argue against it because it's
Yeah,
like The Rock kind of had this sudden stardom where he had the mic skills and all of those things that came with it, and he looked the part.
and he
Ric
looked.
Flair looked the part. He talked the part. He was the part.
Yep,
And
yep.
he'll come back right now and cut a promo right now.
Right, right now, right.
Just give him a
And
little spray tan and let him fix his hair.
yeah, get him a
He'll
little
cut that.
orange, a little bit, a little orange. Yeah, yeah,
He'll cut the hell out of a promo. But it's
yeah.
I want to say who's most overrated. Undertaker, probably.
Mm,
Not that he was bad. I just feel like he was overrated.
the honky tonk man.
I think. Oh,
The honky tonk man. I'm, I'm drawing blanks. Who's that?
yeah. He came out in the cartoon era. The Captain Lou Albano, Magnificent Don Morocco, Rocky
Um,
Johnson, Junkyard
not
Dog. He
what
was
was Captain Lou and what was the other dude's name? Oh, he used to be a wrestler.
Mr. Fuji,
No, oh, what was that white guy's name?
Cowboy Cowboy Bob
Oh
Orton,
no, he's kind of old, short guy. He had white hair. What was his
Bobby
name?
Heenan.
Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bro,
Man,
I was
I,
gonna say
well,
the most overrated,
yeah. You could say
and
Hulk.
I paid money to go see him, and I think the most underrated by far is Macho Man Randy Savage. But
Oh yeah.
the most overrated, the Ultimate Warrior.
You wasn't a fan of him, like just wailing on the ropes.
Bro, him and Hulk Hogan took superstar Billy Graham package and made it their own.
So you saying they were in uh, a watered down era is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think they were superstar Billy Graham came out during the radio era, and Hulk
70s.
Hogan took his style and took it to the TV era. And so nobody knew that Hulk Hogan was a copycat until they did till years later when you find out who superstar Billy Graham was.
It's funny. Everybody actually hates the Hulk. So
Yeah. Yeah,
for numerous reasons, because he's a
yeah,
horrible human being. But
yeah. And he became that. And he became that too because when he first came out, he is a terrific human being. But the more power and influence and money and exposure people get, sometimes,
They lose themselves.
yeah,
I
And
yeah,
was
it's
I
a
was I was seeing like he was saying who was gonna win what fights and when. He had to okay it. It was just like,
yeah.
even if you had the power for that, why would you do that?
Be, right, right. But it's the same thing with the Boston Celtics. Like the Celtics of the NBA is like the Hulk Hogan, right? Because the product was great, but not thriving, struggling. And then the Celtics come along, right? And they start getting you into these venues that the Buffalo Braves couldn't get you into. And then all of a sudden, you have to build up a rival for the Celtics, right? Like it can't be an East Coast team because nobody on the West Coast wanted to watch the Knicks and the Celtics all the time. And then all of a sudden, they prop up the Lakers. They like, oh, we'll get you a villain, right? We'll get you a villain. And then all of a sudden, the Lakers start winning with the Showtime this thing. And then all of a sudden, it's like people are starting to like the Lakers more than they like the Celtics. And then it becomes a rivalry. But what
Yep.
about the Knicks? The Knicks can't be the champs because the Knicks, as a fan base, can't rule the NBA like a Boston Celtics can, right? The Knicks can't. And when the Knicks are the champs, it's like, oh yeah, the Knicks are the champs. But when the Celtics are the champs, it's something. It's like Notre Dame winning a national championship in football, right?
It's like fake prestige.
Yeah, yeah. Like um,
watch your
when
mouth.
when Alabama is the champ in football, it's like, yeah, it's Nick Saban. Nick Saban is the star of Alabama football, right? But when Notre Dame was a championship, Notre Dame is the star of Notre Dame football.
It's like they're like the blue bloods if the NBA had blue bloods.
Right, right, right. And so it's like this thing, like, why can't the Knicks win a championship? It's because if the Knicks win a championship, it'll be like the Mets winning the World Series and having a dynasty, right? It won't be the same as if the Yankees were winning championships and had a dynasty. They exist in the same city. How far is where they play in Queens from where they play in the Bronx? That's close.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
That you can take the train and be there in what, 25 minutes?
7 train and get up
Yeah,
uptown.
you can be there in like 25, whatever. But that's the reason why the Knicks can't be the champs. The Knicks can't be the champs because when the Knicks win the championship, there'll be a power vacuum, but then it's like whatever. But the Celtics win the championship, and it's like, oh my God, Jason Tatum did it. He's finally
The,
validated. Jason Tatum can now say he's a top 25 player of all time.
the
But
Knicks are already like the most, are one of the most valuable without winning a championship in 50 years.
yeah,
Yeah, they do that, it'll make the league damn near collapse upon
yeah,
itself.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's Dre, you watch Star Wars?
Yes.
You remember that movie, The Empire Strikes Back?
Yes.
That was a great movie, right?
Absolutely.
But it wasn't Star Wars.
It was a little different.
It
It
wasn't Star
wasn't.
Wars. I think The Empire Strikes Back is a better movie than Star Wars, right? My personal opinion. Now, is it better than Return of the Jedi? No, I have them listed as Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars. But Star Wars is more popular.
Yeah. It it it's one of those things where if it's not fit to a T, or fit in a box of what you would expect from a product,
Right.
it's not the same to the greater masses.
Right.
And it
Right.
just and I agree Empire Strikes Back is better, is best. So
Yeah. 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 No doubt. No doubt. So my question to y'all is, and I'm glad Lee is here, right? Lee, what would have to go right in order for Adam Silver to give the Larry O'Brien Trophy to James Dolan and announce that your 2025 NBA champs are the New York Knicks?
Our bench would have to play phenomenal and relieve so much pressure off of Jalen Brunson.
That's all. So you say you think we have a legit shot then?
well, I mean, I can't say
Uh,
that's all because the
no,
bench
no,
ain't really showed us that it could do that yet. So
but this is the time for them to get themselves together. This is the time so they can build their own confidence within themselves. This is the opportunity. Unfortunately, with the loss of Jalen Brunson, because if you look at it from now until maybe to the end of the season, we really don't have too many serious tough games outside of Boston and Cleveland. And then they might be on chill mode by the time I'm saying, by the time we even see them again.
yeah,
But still,
they're gonna be locked in by the time we see them dudes like the last week or so of the season,
Yeah.
last
yeah,
2 weeks,
but
they
but
might be
but the
locked
whole
into seating.
but the whole premise of what I'm saying though is developing attitude, uh, um, esprit de corps, and not only that, but just the whole confidence situation, knowing that they can compete and they will be relied upon. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I
Hmm.
I understand that, but when I said we need to play Landry more, Freezy was like Freezy scrunched his face up, and he ain't trying to hear that at all.
No, you said he was playing pretty good.
Yeah, and I feel like he should play a little bit more. I'm not
Right.
asking for him to play 20 minutes a night, but could he go to like 15, 12,
No,
15?
no.
Well, then be prepared to see Josh Hart play 40 minutes a night for the next, I don't know, month until Brunson comes back.
Did he play 40 minutes last night?
It was a blowout, so he didn't
No, it was
have to.
hard. Nobody played. Yeah. Except I think OG might have played significant
OG
minutes.
played a ton of minutes, though. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was carrying. He was legit like the focal point of some stuff. So Dre,
Defensively,
so the
offensively.
question. So the question is. So it's your turn. What would it take? And hear me out. Hear the entire question. Right. What would it take for Adam Silver to grab the Larry O'Brien Trophy and pass it to James Dolan while announcing, "Congratulations to your 2025 NBA champion New York Knicks."
You're gonna need a fortunate sequence of events. One's the like that the 2021 Bucks had. 'Cause I don't I don't think we're just right there yet
Toronto
schematically
Raptors.
or coaching wise. I think we're comfortably like a top 5 NBA team, but there's a little bit of a gap between us and the Cavs and OKC and the Celtics, and I don't think that can be fixed between now in the finals or getting that
But
far.
I didn't ask your opinion about
But
that.
what would it take?
Yeah, what
Okay.
would it take is what I asked you.
Well, I said a fortunate sequence of events.
What are
um,
those? What are those events?
um, it sounds bad, but like like an injury might help us. Like an ill-timed turned ankle from like a star player
Those things
on,
happen.
yeah, like on like the Celtics. It was like one of those things where I remember I was listening to the Jeff C podcast, and they were getting whooped up by the Nets, just smacked up them 2 games. And Jeff C said when he saw Kyrie's ankle turn, he's like, "Oh, we have a chance now."
Right. Right.
And that turned into a championship because the champion that year faced faced a hobbled Nets team. Then they turned it and faced Atlanta, who overachieved. And after beating up a Sixers team that we all thought was going to make that run to the conference
Yeah.
finals that year,
Yeah.
that could very well be the Cavs in that scenario. And they went to the finals, went down 0-2, and they made some tactical decisions. Giannis played out of his mind, his All NBA starter, All Star starter, played out of his mind, and they won a championship riding the backs of their superstar, their singular superstar.
They were up 2-0 in a lead in game 3 and took a deep breath and
Yep,
wound up getting choked out the rest of the way.
yep. They just lost control, and Giannis went crazy, and
Yep.
there
The
was nothing they could
momentum.
do.
Yep. The momentum switch was crazy.
Yeah, Giannis, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Freezy. That one block Giannis had on aim is probably the greatest block I've ever seen live on
Wow.
TV. Like
Wow.
I'll see the highlights. I'll maybe catch the highlights, but like as far as a block that I caught, that was I've never seen a dude see a lob, turn around, and meet the lob at the apex as it
Right.
was happening, and caught a 7-footer dunking the ball with the ball at the square.
Yep.
That's some superhero shit.
Not changing the subject, but Cole Anthony the other night on Giannis, bro.
He blocked Giannis?
Yes,
I didn't see it. I didn't catch it.
bro. As soon as you see it, you're gonna reorder your list on blocks, bro.
I'm about
As
to
soon
go.
as you see it, you can be like, oh no, what I've been seeing this thing wrong. Or I'm sorry for the folks that are proper. I've been watching this incorrectly, right? Cole Anthony caught Giannis at the apex.
Oh my god.
Yes. Cole Anthony looks like he's 4 feet off the ground.
That you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of that block that Nate caught on Yao.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you see it, you're gonna be like, oh my,
I just saw it. I literally just pulled it up.
bro. It make you reshuffle lists, bro. I'm not saying it's the greatest. I'm just saying it makes you want to reshuffle your list a little bit.
I
So
think he caught him. Giannis was going up like, okay, he was gonna go up for just like a foul. Like he wasn't anticipating like I
Rocket
think he
didn't
wasn't anticipating the challenger
he didn't expect Cole Anthony to go upstairs.
or actually try.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it didn't look like he was going up to dunk it. It looked like he was trying to go up and lay it up. And Cole Anthony was like, nah, man.
Now the greatest block I ever saw,
Yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon catch the ball on the post and he up fakes and then gets into the dream shake, fakes the fadeaway and goes up to the rim to dunk. And Pat Ewing swatted from out of bounds, come back from out of nowhere.
What was that in the finals?
Yes. He up faked to get into the green dream shake. He up faked, right? And drop step, selling the fadeaway. And Pat went flying by. And he goes up to, you know what I'm saying, yam it. And Pat
Now,
comes back
now I'm
from out
about to
of
go watch that whole
nowhere.
finals.
Bro, great. Pat Ewing had 35 blocks in 7 games.
35 blocks in 7 games. That don't even make no damn sense.
No, that's
Hey,
crazy.
hey, hey. Yo, he wasn't ish on offense, but he came to play on defense.
Yeah, he averaged 18 a game. That man averaged
Yeah,
like 18 and 13 and 5 blocks.
but you know, we was expecting a little bit more out of Pat.
We always expect New Yorkers always expect a little bit more out of everybody.
No. I'm just saying offensively. I'm not. Listen, I'm not questioning his effort because his effort was there. We just the shots weren't going down like we expected. That's all.
Yeah, I think he was playing against the greatest defensive center ever, and that center was in his prime. That's the way I look at it, right? And a
Facts.
lot of
Right.
one,
No, I was agreeing with you.
yeah, yeah. And then plus the team around Olajuwon was playing modern basketball. At that time, the Knicks were playing 80s basketball in the 90s.
Mm.
So, yeah. So here is what I think needs to happen for Adam Silver to begrudgingly pass the Larry O'Brien trophy to James Dolan and announce congratulations to the 2025 NBA champ, New York Knicks. The first thing that needs to happen is during this stretch where Jalen Brunson is out, we have to get one of these bench players or role players raging hot. Somebody,
Mm.
right? Maybe it's Deuce McBride is going to average 17 points a game for the rest of the way. And then when Jalen Brunson comes back, he'll still average 16 to 17 points a game, right?
Well, Freezy, that's going. He gonna have to play 28 to 30 minutes to get that. I don't know. Tibbs don't be staggering lineups like that as much as we want him to. It's
Or,
just, yeah.
or Deuce McBride can just shoot the ball when he get it.
It's still hard to average 17 points, 16 points on 15 minutes. It's just hard to do.
And 10 shots.
I mean, how many shots did Vinny the Microwave Johnson take as soon as he got in?
Ooh,
What?
good question.
What? A lot. A
Yeah.
lot.
That's why they ain't calling him a microwave
Soon
for
as
no reason.
as soon as Isaiah sat down, his light was green, or vice versa.
Yeah. And so here's the thing, right? Deuce McBride the other night had 21 points on 11 shots. Will Deuce McBride get 21 points on 11 shots every night? No. What I'm saying is average 16 to 17 points a game. Right.
If you average 16, 17 on 11 shots, you're probably one of the most efficient players in the league. So if he got me 15 on 11, 12, I'll be ecstatic. 17 is a lot for like
But,
10, 11
but,
shots.
but I want you, but
From the
follow me
math
though.
perspective, like he'd have to be white hot from three the entire
But
time.
but 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 follow me though.
Yeah.
The key thing was the preface
Is
was
what would it
one of the
take?
Knicks bench
Yeah.
players or role
Yeah.
players has to
Gotcha.
get raging hot down the
Yeah.
stretch.
Yeah. Not that not you're speaking from the perspective of how would we raise the Larry O'Brien. That
Right.
would take one. That would be one of the.
That'll be
It would.
one that
It
that'll
would
be
be
one.
like basically getting like that Fred Van Vliet punch of your
Yep.
bench that the Raptors got.
Yep. Yeah. Or that Chris Middleton hot in the finals.
And you know how Chris Middleton got hot in the finals. Giannis went down and he got his confidence,
Yep. Yep.
dropping like 40 on Atlanta, carrying the team
Yep.
to beat that team, and then he just carried that into the finals.
Yep.
And,
Here,
and
here,
Giannis did what Giannis did.
yeah. And so here's the other thing. The Knicks have to face teams offensively that fit what the Knicks do defensively. Right? So if we play against teams that don't shoot the three and want to exist in that I'm taking things to the rim type scenario, I think that plays into the hands of Tom Thibodeau. Right. So if we get, and what I mean by that is can we catch a Detroit and then and Atlanta and then a Cleveland, right? Because in this scenario, there's no
Celtics would have to
world,
lose.
where the Knicks are going to beat the top three teams in the NBA on the way to a title, right? We're not going to beat Boston and then Cleveland and then OKC.
It's just hard to do.
It's just too much to
Like
ask.
like back last year, like every year there's usually like one team that pushes around double digits in net
Right.
rating. We got three of them right now.
Yeah. And the Knicks
And
are not
by
going to beat
and
all three of them in a 7-game series.
and by every metric in NBA history, if you're like double digit in net rating, you're probably a super team or damn near pushing it.
Yeah, you're the 86 Celtics.
Yeah. The 2017 Warriors.
Right. Right.
Like
And so here is my other thing. And this is my final thing where I think if this goes right, the Knicks can be the 2025 NBA champs. Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson are all healthy for the entire playoff series.
mm,
Right. So you get one of the big dogs get knocked off. Right. One or two of your bench or role players get raging hot. And your core four are absolutely healthy going into the playoffs. I think that's how the Knicks can be the NBA champs. And it sounds difficult.
every champion needs luck.
It sounds difficult, right?
Yeah.
But I think that is quite easy. For one, the NBA has not had a repeat champion since the Golden State Warriors.
7 years.
Yeah, and so if you base it off that logic alone, the Celtics are going to lose to someone. Who are they going to lose to? They're not going to lose in the first round to Atlanta, right? So do they lose in the second round to the Knicks? They have to in order for all the stuff that I said to make sense. Because if the Knicks lose to the Celtics, who cares what happens after that? Right? If the Knicks lose to the Celtics in the second round, I don't care if the Celtics repeat after that because the Knicks lost.
Mm.
But if the Knicks knock off the Celtics and you get the Cleveland Cavaliers in a phone booth, right? You get them in a phone booth. Now, all of a sudden, all the stuff that we're talking about, while it seems like a pipe dream on the surface, some of it starts to become reality. Like a 13-year-old Michael Jordan dreaming about winning championships in the NBA. A 13-year-old Michael Jordan dreaming about that, that's a dream.
Yeah.
One day it happened, though, 6 times.
6 times.
Right? Sin Miz in the building. And another thing, salute to Sin Miz. Sin Miz in the building, salute. So ultimately, Lee, I guess ultimately what I'm saying is there could be a path, right? Kind of like Doctor Strange and the such and such million possibilities, and he chose one. There may be a world where this could occur. I'm interested in thinking how you guys think it could happen. I don't think you guys think there is an inroad at all, based on what y'all told me. I don't think you.
Uh,
I don't think you guys think there's an inroad unless the House of Cards collapses and the Knicks are the last card standing.
I think some of keep it real with you, Freezy. If you look at the last few NBA champions, the House of Cards kind of did do that. Like Celtics faced a lot of injured teams last year. Their
Yeah,
entire run, they faced an injured team. Granted, they were the favorites, but
yeah.
every series they were in, the Heat were injured, the Pacers were injured. Who did they play in the second round?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it slips
Oh,
on me.
Cleveland.
They were injured.
Yep, yep,
They went to the finals. Luka was injured, clearly injured.
yep,
Then you look at Denver's run. Denver didn't play a single team that won 50 games that year,
yep.
and he went to the finals and won it.
And won it.
And you
Yep,
look at the Bucks. Bucks were a great regular season team. They clearly met their match talent wise against the Nets, but injuries fell into their favor.
yep,
And the Sixers having a meltdown fell into their favor
yep.
in the second round.
Doc Rivers throwing a player under the bus during a playoff series while other players are watching.
Yeah. So
That
like
was the
if
worst. That was the
it,
worst.
so like
That's why.
I haven't
That's why.
I haven't seen since maybe the Warriors, I haven't really seen a team that was like suggested to be the favorite have like impressive runs against fully healthy squads the entire time.
Right.
I have zero respect for Doc Rivers for that.
Yeah.
Doc
I
Doc
have
Doc
zero.
is crazy.
He got
And they
himself
No,
keep
he
fired.
got
giving him
crazy.
jobs too.
Hmm?
And you know what's funny? When he gets fired from his job, they're gonna hire him on ABC again or NBC. And you're gonna hear that horse ass voice
Yeah.
talking like he
I'm
won a
scared.
billion championships when he just won one.
And you know what the funny thing is? Doc Rivers as a player was Jalen Suggs. And people don't remember that because that was
Yep.
50 years ago, 40,
Almost
40,
not
40 years ago.
about 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
He exactly was Jalen Suggs, a
He
six
was
five
Jalen
point
Suggs.
guard
Yep.
who could,
Jump out the gym, super athlete.
yep, jump out the gym, shoot a little bit,
Tough.
not a lot, tough.
Balding early.
it,
All of it. All of it. Right. Yeah.
it was sour. You know why he's sour with the Knicks, right? Because soon as he blew out that knee with us, we shipped him right off
The Clippers.
to the Clippers. And if anybody doesn't remember, back in the 90s, the 80s, 90s, the Clippers was like sending a player overseas.
Yeah, it was like
You
Chernobyl.
know,
It was like
and
that.
it was horrible.
What's the other Russian place? What's the Russian place they send you to?
Oh, I forgot what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. To the jail.
Oh,
Where the prisons are. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
on the borderline of Asia
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Russia.
What's that isolated Russian prison they send you to in the snow? Oh, I forgot the name. Oh, I forget. I forget. I forget. It's kind of like um. Oh, geez, Lee, we getting old, bro.
Yeah, bro. You already know it. You already know it. Hold on a second. Let me Google this real quick.
Um, golly. So I guess what I'm doing right now, Dre, is um
He
painting
said the
by numbers.
gulag in the chat.
No, I think it's a thing. It starts with a K. It starts with a K, I think.
He said there's a Russian prison.
Yeah. I forget the name of it, bro. I think it starts with a K. Siberia?
Oh, Siberia.
Siberia don't start with a K though.
No, but that is exactly what we Siberia. Is
Yeah,
what
That's
you're
what they
thinking of.
said. That's what they
yeah,
said they sent you.
yeah, yeah. See the Siberia, yeah, yeah, the Siberia Wildcats. But um, what I'm doing right now, Lee, is mentally painting by numbers, but in an emotionally reserved way, right? In intellectually reserved way. Whereas these things could happen, they're not likely, but I can see a way that this is possible, right? Because whoever thought the Houston Rockets was going to make the NBA Finals in 1986?
Hmm.
Not me.
Who did they go through? I think the
Hell no,
Jazz.
not me.
Off the top of
They
my
beat
head,
the
they went through the
Lakers.
Jazz
They
early and
upset the
shit.
Lakers. They beat the Lakers 4-2 because the Lakers were the champs and went in there sleepwalking. Like, hey, we're just gonna knock off the Rockets and face the Celtics. And
I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Twin Towers went in there and took out at that time, and still to this one of the greatest NBA centers of all time, and Magic.
yeah, yeah. And the Lakers had Bob McAdoo and Michael Thompson and Michael Cooper and Byron the Frenchman Scott.
That's fair.
Yeah,
And what's to say? All these deep runs don't catch up to the Celtics. Drew Holiday getting an injury every other day.
yeah,
Every other week he's popping up. He got a mallet finger right now. He just came back.
bro, that's crazy.
So
A mallet finger
yeah, one of the ligaments in
smashing.
his finger is like one of the ligaments in the pointy part in his finger. It kind of detached,
Yeah,
and now it's like
Oh
hanging
Jesus.
on like his shooting
Oh,
hand.
yeah.
oh
Lee, you ain't never seen nobody with drop foot. You ever heard of drop foot?
yes, I've
Yeah,
heard
like,
of it, but
when you raise your foot to walk, your foot just dangle.
It's the same
oh,
thing with your finger.
Yeah,
mm,
Fingertip is just dropping.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. God bless
But,
you.
hey, and speaking of injuries, I ain't gonna find this gonna sound disgusting, but when you box, you can go get a procedure, a chemical procedure, and it'll dissolve a part of your nose cartilage. So when you get in hitting your nose won't bleed, right?
What?
And yeah, 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 because your nose is not a bone, it's cartilage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's all cartilage. When
It,
your nose breaks, it breaks up around the the part of your skull
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
or your face,
so
I should say.
the dude asked me, he's like, "Yo, you want to just go get the acid thing done?" Hell no! Is you crazy? Next time I get in the ring, Lee, a dude hits me like
Square.
your tip of your nose. He
Oh
grazed like
Lord.
the tip of my nose like that, and my nose was like
Mm.
gushing blood, bro. And like all in my mouth, all down my
Wait,
Oh
chest.
wow.
so professional boxers all do that?
I'm not gonna say they all do it.
But okay, a
I'm
lot
not gonna
do.
It's
say they all.
possible.
Yeah, it's all I'm saying is in the '80s, late '80s, early '90s, this was a thing that you could do,
Cause
right?
like I'm wondering, cause that makes me think. Cause like I really haven't seen too many boxers straight bleed out their nose mid fight, but they plugged them up. So
Yeah, yeah,
I guess.
yeah, yeah. And so Dre, the dude hit me. He grazed the tip of my nose, and the tip of my nose was offset like this, and blood was just coming out of my nose, pouring out. And he was like, "You want me to fix your nose?" It's like, "Hell no! You want to set my nose and send me back out here?" He's like, "Yup." I was like, just plug it, man. I'm gonna go back out there." He's like, "But look at your nose. You can't even breathe." And what it is my nose was offset like one nostril was like almost closed, and the other one was wide ass open.
God damn.
But he rocks you.
But the thing is, I was whooping the dude. Lee, I was winning on the scorecards. All I need, we back and we was only doing 4 rounds, 4 2-minute rounds. And all I had to do was go back out there for 2 minutes and I win. As long as I ain't get knocked out. The doctor come over, he's like, kid, you all right? I'm like, and I don't know if y'all noticed this or not, but the way you speak, your nose and how you breathe has a lot to do with it. Right?
And your taste.
So he asking me if I'm all right. And I'm like, I'm all right. Because I got
Yeah.
too much air. I'm trying to breathe. It's crazy. Dude, plug my nose, plug to one side, and push the other part down, and then it's just dripping. And so I go back out there for the last 2 minutes, right? Win the fight on points, right? Dude, raise my hand, and the referee look at me, and he's like, "Man, you got to be the dumbest kid I ever seen in my life." He's like, all of that over $400. Yeah,
Hey, you needed that 400.
yeah, because I had an entourage.
400 back then went real far.
$400, $400 in
Oh
19.
God, I gotta laugh about that one. Oh my
Bro,
God,
do you know how much cold duck and 8 ball I could buy with $400 back then, bro?
bro, you can buy a case of 40, you can buy three, 4 cases of 40s and about 4 bottles of cold duck
And,
and
and,
still walk
and,
away with some money.
and guess what we was drinking back then?
What?
Guinness Stout.
Oh God, Lord have mercy.
Chat, we were drinking Guinness Stout back in those days.
That was the
And
Heineken of the old school.
it tastes like coffee. I'm like, yo, this thing is so
Oh, man,
dark.
that tastes like, boy, that's the worst thing on earth.
Or you talk about the next morning, bro? Oh my God, man. Oh my gosh. But that's part of it, Dre. He didn't even hit me hard. He just hit me on the tip of my nose and I felt it. It was like a little buzz. It felt like a bee sting, and then it was
Like a
over.
nudge. And
Yeah, it
it's
was like a
just
bee sting, and then it was over. But my blood was like, it was like somebody turned the faucet on. I was like, what? Yeah, man. It was like somebody turned the faucet on. And I made it to the end of the round. He's like, yo, you want me to set your nose? Like he was looking forward to it. Like Lee, like Dre, you
Like he
played
done did something.
Dre,
Like he done did something.
yeah, it's like you played basketball before, and you know
yep.
how somebody dislocate a finger, and then the trainer be like, "You want me to pop it back in?" Like
Ah,
that.
Mm.
Dre, you ever
Ooh,
see somebody
Lord.
try to pass and then they finger get jammed,
oh my God.
and then it be the knuckle be on top of the other knuckle,
Oh my God.
and then
Or
somebody be like, "Yo, you want me to pull it? You want me to snatch it?"
man, you dribble into the paint, somebody whack your hand real hard,
Yeah, yeah, basically like that.
and now you
Like
now your whole now you got two fingers looking perpendicular.
now you out here like Bernard King.
Oh my God.
Looking crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yo, bro, I promise you, the dude barely hit my nose, and my nose was on. It's the reason why. To be honest with you, I have a face that only my mother and Miss Mocha can love because I put myself through so much stuff. Right? People, a dude was like, "Bro, you got frog eyes," and I'm like, "Bro, I'm just glad I still have eyes, bro."
They work.
Yeah, yeah,
Shoot.
yeah, bro. I mean, dude be
You
like,
you a bad you a bad man, yo. Cause I sit back here in hindsight and think about because I'm watching UFC right now, and I'm looking at these cats and how I used to think I was bad. I thought I was a bad joker back in my day, and I thought maybe I probably man ain't no way in hell. I'm looking at myself now. Ain't no way in hell I could put myself through that torture. And when they say boxing is a gladiator sport. It really is. It's like one of the few of the last sports where it's individual combat, one on one, and it's all about how you got a good chin or not. You know how much what kind of threshold of pain you can take. I'm talking about cats pounding on your shoulders so you can't even pick up your arms anymore. I couldn't even imagine that. Not this
Bro,
day and age.
that was my blessing and curse. Like my curse and my blessing was I had a steel chin, a granite chin, right? Like, dude, like legit, I used to get hit with like haymakers, bam, and dudes would be like, "Bro, I thought you was out of there," and I'm like,
Whole time they
"Nah."
hand hurt more than your face did.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, when you have a granite chin, it just means you take more punishment. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson could legit hit me like barehanded like 3 or 4 times, and I ain't gonna go nowhere. But you know what that means? That means
Eventually, the
Mike
dam is
Tyson
gonna
hit
break.
me barehanded 4 or 5 times.
Eventually, the levee's gonna break.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And see, the thing is, Mike should flinch at me, and I should just fall down, right? Because Mike fast and powerful, right? But Dre, no lie, I got hit by the 4-time reigning champ in Texas. He's a Mexican dude. He's like about 5'11", about 260. He came in the ring smelling like Mexican cigarettes, right? He's just a power guy. He didn't come in there, play no games. He wasn't gonna jab. He wasn't. And I was lighting him up. This is when amateurs used to wear the mixed gloves, like they'd be red with the white part on the front. Yeah, I remember that era.
That's the
original
white part. White part would count for the points.
points. Yeah, yeah. And so I was pointing him up, like just pointing him up, just pointing him up. And I waited a little bit too long, and he caught me like right here, like on the jaw and chin. And as soon as he hit me, I was in the matrix.
Mm.
I was in the matrix, like everything had slowed down. All the color was gone. It was like black and white. I could hear my heart beating, and I could like feel the ring vibrating, like under my feet. And I was looking around, and like a video game, you know, how people be in the crowd cheering and chanting, but you can't hear them. I was like, what the hell wrong with them? They screaming and I can't hear them.
You in another astral plane.
Yes.
It's night, almost night night. It's almost night night.
And something was like duck fool. I ducked, and it felt like Hurricane Hugo went across the back of my neck. I was like, whew, it's cold in here. I'm tired. And so I leaned and Lee, I leaned back, and he clips my helmet and turns my helmet sideways on my head.
Oh
And
my
Mm.
god.
now I'm looking out the ear. You know how you have your ear hole? I'm
Yeah.
taking my gloves, trying to see out my ear hole, right? Like, hey, I can't see nothing. And I'm just moving, and I can just feel the wind just. But I'm just moving, trying to get. And I finally get my helmet, my headgear together. And by the grace of God, I'm looking at my coach, and I read his lips. And on his lips, it says, "Run." Like he's telling me to run. I can't hear him, but I read his lips. And I'm like, shit, I'm dazed. And bro, I take off running. I would take off running like one of them Friday movies, like when the Friday, like Craig and they be running from Debo or somebody. I
Yeah.
take off in the rain running, right?
Mhm.
And my heart rate gets up, and then everything come back, and I'm like, oh, this dude almost killed me.
Mm.
And then like the bell ring, ding ding, right? And I go back to the corner, and
Thank
the
God you could
coach,
find it.
bro, nah, my corner run into the ring and grab me and sit me down. And they break this thing. I don't know if y'all know what this thing is, but they break this
Smell
little thing,
salt.
stank as hell, and they put it up your nose, and it smells like ass and ammonia. You're like, "Ugh."
I already know what it is.
Yeah,
I know what it is.
bro, it smelled
Believe
like,
me, I know.
bro, oh my God, Dre, they bring me back to, right? The referee is like, kid, you all right? I'm gonna stop it. I'm like, nah. By that time, I understand. By that time, in like those 60 seconds, it all come back to me, right? Like you tried to play yourself. You try to point him. You try to be pretty. Don't be pretty. Keep pointing him up, right? You got a big lead. Just don't get knocked out, right? So we go in and he come out like a raging bull, and I'm doing all my technical stuff. Pivot, reverse pivot, right? Like he's swinging and I'm feinting and I hit him in the rib and then bounce back up, reverse pivot, like show him, like I'll show him shoulders. And so in his mind, he don't know what punch to throw because he's looking at my shoulders. He don't know if I'm a counter or if I'm defending, right? So I'm moving, head movement, shoulders. And so he swing, Dre, I'm under and I shoot right through the guard. Boom! And back up. And this dude turns into what's the boss on Mario Brothers at the end of the game?
Bowser.
This dude turns into Bowser, bro. Like I can't run from him or nothing. He just swing it crazy. And then the bell rang. Bing, 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 bing. And I'm like, and he look at me like he's still swinging at me after the bell because he know he lost. He's still swinging at me. My corner go out there. Yeah, my corner go out there and they pushing the dude away in his corner, throwing punches at us and all of that. The crowd is booing. Boo, boo. They booing me, right? Because I was like the challenger. And this dude had been the champ like 8 years. And they booing me. They throwing stuff in the ring. Right. And they go to the scorecards and they say, and the winner is with a score of 2 rounds to 1, and then say his name.
Wow.
And I fall to the mat and start crying like a baby right down the spot. Hey, bro, I never forget, I was 21 years old, bro. I had never had an injustice like that ever happen to me. Right. When I go back, I still have the VHS right now, right? I think I beat him like 88-20, like punches landed, like 88-20, and they gave him the fight, and we were supposed to be judged on points.
Yeah.
88-20. Like I landed 68 more punches than him. Now they were light punches. They were like devastating. Like I'm not Mike Tyson. I'm probably more like Evander Holyfield, like a technical guy with a lot of heart, right? No talent, just heart and technical. Jalen Brunson, like Jalen Brunson, basically. You know what I'm saying? And they robbed me, bro, and I fell on the mat and started crying like a baby. And they were trying to take my gloves off, bro, and I quit on the spot. I was like, man, I ain't never doing this no more. They was like, no, Uncle Freezie, no, man. You got to keep fighting. I was like, man, nah, man, I'm not doing this no more. This dude, they robbed me in front of all them people. Lee, I would have won $1,000. Do you know how much $1,000 is in 1990? Or
Already know, bro. Are you serious?
In 1988. So 89, one of them years, $1,000. Do you know how much Guinness stout I could have bought with $1,000?
Bro. If you notice, you said what year that was, right? Check me out, right? That was the same year. What's my man got robbed? For the gold medal in Seoul.
Roy Jones?
What's Roy Jones?
Yeah.
So don't feel bad, bro. Don't feel bad, yo. Sometimes you gotta go through something in order to get somewhere.
Hey, Freezy, $1,000 in 1989 is 2,500 today.
Bro, do you know how much Guinness stout $2,500 could buy?
Man, y'all still be drinking to this day.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy. And as a matter of fact, St. Ides wasn't out. So it was just 8 Ball, right? It's like 8 Ball and Bull. You remember Bull?
Yes, sir.
So it's like 8 Ball and Bull. Do you know how much Bull I could have bought with $2,500 in today's money, bro?
Blood,
Bro,
that's crazy.
no lie, bro. The dude hit me so hard, I thought I was watching TV. The dude hit
But
me
that's
so
why they
hard, I had a tone in my ear for 6 days. Like,
Oh, you got a concussion, bro.
yo, I had that tone in my ear for 6 days, bro.
That's
For,
called concussion.
oh, I didn't know. In 19 what was it 1990? It's 80, 88 or 89, one of them. One of them. I still got, and the thing is, I still have the trophy in my house right now for me finishing runner up,
Mm,
finishing
mm.
in second place. And it remind me, and to make y'all laugh, stuff like that is the reason why I grind so hard. People at work be like, yo, you trying to do everybody work? I can't leave nothing to chance. Nothing.
Exactly. It's just when you thought you won, here's somebody come taking it from you.
Just
I
taking
done
it.
been there before. I done been there.
I,
3 years of high school basketball did that
bro.
to me. And it's just right after my senior year, the next year, what do? Win the championship.
Bro, yeah, lead. That's what I'm saying, bro. And the funny part to it is, the funny part to that is at that same tournament in Dallas, Texas, and at that
Hmm.
same tournament in Dallas, Texas, I wind up um getting the phone number of um the Miss Texas runner up for for 98. For real, we was just sitting in the lobby, like, because you remember back in the day, they used to do these things in hotels and ballrooms. Like they'll have a
Hmm.
ballroom, and in this big ballroom, they'll have 8 rings in it and 8 different crowds, and they'll be doing 8 boxing matches all at the same time. And then on the other side of the
Hmm.
hotel, they was doing a pageant. And so in this grand lobby, I was just sitting there by this water fountain. It's like some weird big water fountain. It's got fish in the thing and like some kind of eagle thing, like some kind of big white statue or whatever. And I was just sitting there, and she came over there and started talking, and we just started kicking it, and we became friends, right? She's like, "You here for the boxing?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are you any good?" I think so. I was like, what are you here for?" She was like, "What do you think I'm here for?" She said, "I don't know. I'm Uncle Freezie."
You're fly,
She,
so you so fly.
yeah, yeah, but she is a beautiful girl, bro. Yep. We just sat there and talked, and we became friends, and we became friends like that week. And I was like her biggest supporter. Like when she was doing stuff, I was like, just go there and support her. I'm here by myself anyway. I was like, I'm here by myself. I'm here with these dudes, the boxing team, right? It's everybody from Texas, like me and a dude named Sugar off our boxing team, and everybody else from around the state. So basically, me and Sugar was there by ourselves. But Sugar was older than me. Sugar was like 26. He didn't want to hang out with somebody who just turned 21 or something. You know what I'm saying? So I was basically there by myself. You know what I'm saying? And she was basically there by herself. And we just kicked it. And um she wound up finishing. Dre, this is the crazy part. She thought she was gonna be Miss America. But in order to be Miss America, you first have to be Miss Texas, right? So she is in the final three, right? Her and 2 other girls on stage. And I'm not gonna say it's racism, right? But she was not. The other 2 girls were white. She was black, right? They called her name, and she fell on the floor, started crying because she thought she outdid all the other girls, right? And she thought it was that. I don't know. I'm like, man, I don't do the racism stuff like that, right? I'm like, maybe they was just in my mind. I'm like, maybe they was just better than you, right? But she lost, right? And she cried the whole weekend, like Friday night, Saturday night. And then I fought this dude Saturday night, and then I lost, and I fell on the thing and started crying. And then she was like, "Well, maybe they saw something." And I was like, "Nah, that's not how it worked. The rules are the white part of your glove have to go and on their head or torso. And whoever get the most of those win. And my corner was confident that all we had to do was make it to the end of the fight and we won. But I lost. I got robbed. So, but the good thing is, if I would have won, I may have been a professional boxer. Y'all probably would have never met me. There probably wouldn't be no blowing heads.
There would just be Grey Poupon and caviar. Or
Yeah,
Freezy.
bim, bim. All right, so real quick before I get out of here, I do want to say this. Deuce McBride looked impressive the other night.
He did. I think part of it, even in the games where he doesn't necessarily have his jump shot going, he does other things that help you win. It's just when his jump shot's not going, it just looks a lot worse than what it really is.
Right.
And he came out assertive, and he did the thing that Brunson typically does when we come out to games. When we have like a slow start, he comes out firing. Brunson will come out, get 15, 16 points in the first quarter just to
Right.
keep us in it. And then we'll pick up the slack on the back end with everyone else in the second quarter. I think we're like the best team in the league in the second quarter. And he set the tempo for the game because we
Yeah.
started the game out slow. Like those first 3, 4, 5 possessions were kind of,
Awful.
yeah. And he basically knocked down some shots, helped instill some confidence because that's been a recurring theme when Brunson's here. We start out slow, Brunson keeps us in it, then we take the reins from there. And that's
Right.
kind of like been the theme. He may have to be aggressive at the beginning of games, just to set a tempo, set a pace for us to play off of.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be probably his job to come out because everyone else kind of plays to a lead guard's tempo. It feels like.
That's what I was going to mention to you. What I was going to say is, and I wanted to save this conversation for one when we had time to delve into it.
Yeah.
But I think Tom Thibodeau should explore non-center lineups. Right. OG, Bridges, Hart, Deuce, and Brunson.
Man, Freezy, we've been begging for it, but for a guy OG that makes 200 whatever $1 million, every other coach in the league would utilize that flexibility solely off of how much he makes.
Yeah. Because he deserves that money though.
Yeah, he absolutely deserves it. When we close out the Sixers, who's playing the five?
How much does an injured Joel Embiid play into that?
And injured Joel Embiid is still better than every center in the league not named Jokic.
Or Cat? Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
at that point, we talking about injured Embiid is still an all-star center.
Yeah.
He
And
he
and
was
so
injured and gave us 50.
yep. He had like, yeah. You couldn't touch him. He had 19, what, 20 free throws, 21 free throws.
Yeah, it was still he was scoring all over the
He's still
even
scoring. Yep.
still
Yep.
like even without it, he got 30 off field goal attempts.
Yep. And so in chat, with that say, when I say a non-center lineup, what I mean is the Oklahoma City Thunder defense, right? The January OKC, the December OKC defense, where you pressure every dribble, every pass, every shot, every cut, everything is contested, right? It's like moving furniture and on offense. By the time by the time you move that couch 13 or 14 times, you don't want to move that couch no more.
And then
Your
after
will
that,
is gone.
it's turnover after
Yeah,
turnover.
turnover after turnover, like they did Randall in Minnesota. Remember they did that in Minnesota?
Yep.
Randall was so tired he couldn't even dribble.
It's just like a nest. Like it's just wasps.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
And
gonna suggest that to Tibbs. Tibbs, you need to consider a fire ant defense, bro.
he ain't
Right?
never
Yeah, you gotta. Would you rather have? And this is just a nightmare scenario for somebody, for people that's probably about to lay down. Would you rather get bit by a shark or fall into a fire ant hole?
It's like there's
The
two ways
shark is
to.
gonna bite your arm off and not like the taste and leave. The
Yeah,
fire ants, bro. It's a million of them on you, bro. You
yeah.
like-
It's like it's just a meal. It's like a
yeah,
meal.
yeah, yeah.
It's one of those things where, bro, I watch the Cavs. They have Mobley on a max deal, and they're paying Jared Allen like $30 million a year, right?
Yep.
And they went to a lineup with Donovan Mitchell, Garland, Max Struess, uh, the kid that they picked up from Atlanta, and Dean Wade. And they
DeAndre
have
Hunter.
two All-Star bigs. And I can't see that with like the utility that we do have. They went micro ball with two small guards that don't
Yep.
really play defense.
Yep.
And I
Because
can't see that.
it's easier to guard shots and cuts than it is to guard cats off the dribble.
Yeah.
And this is one of the principles of defense that we kind of get away from. Yeah, Cash, exactly. With what's that good? Clint McDaniel, Lee Mayberry, Todd Day, Clint McDaniel, and the other dude, I cannot remember his name. Clint McDaniel, Lee Mayberry, Todd Day, and Scotty Thurman, and Carlos Williamson, I think. Yeah. But yeah, Dre, that's what I'm saying, bro. The principles of defense is not just one of the things I think we forget as hoop heads is principles of the game, right? See, the principle of the game is not just staying in front of your man. That's not just defense. Defense is everything, right? Defense is when they
Generating
have the ball,
turnovers.
pressure the ball,
Yeah.
pressure they passing angle, right? Make them
That's part of the
uncomfortable.
reason. That's part of the reason why Cat struggles in drop because when McCall's there, he's not actively pressuring. When Deuce is in there doing it, it looks a lot more tenable.
Right.
We don't have multiple. And when OG's guarding the perimeter attack, it's more pressure. Like it doesn't work when you're not having pressure. And I
He
don't think
ripped
teams.
Zach. Did you see the rip on Zach Levine?
Right.
Right? Zach Levine knew it was coming, but he was forced into a place where the turnover was inevitable.
Yeah.
Right? And you can do that with Mitchell Robinson on the floor because even if OG gambles there and loses,
Mitchell pick up the pieces.
yep, right?
Cat's not picking up the pieces. He'll play Cat. It's already established. Cat can play good, sound team defense, but you have to do the other parts on the other end to pick up his slack.
Yeah, and so the thing is about Cat, and I understand the conundrum. The thing is, Mitchell Robinson can afford to get in foul trouble.
Because
Cat
he only gonna play 12 minutes.
Cat can't afford to get in foul trouble. Because
Exactly.
if Cat gets in foul trouble, you take away the Knicks' best 3-point shooter. Right now, Jalen Brunson can get doubled, and it's the cascading effect. Some of the things that when we watch the game, we don't really fully understand, or we don't know how to speak to the things that we're seeing because we don't put two and two together. We like Cat in foul trouble. He on the bench. He gonna get ice cold. Right? Can't get two fouls. He gonna sit out until late in the second quarter. Right? By the time he come back, he gonna be ice cold. So when he shoot, his shot gonna be off. But even with him on the bench, Jalen Brunson don't have a floor spacer. Now you blitzing Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson has,
Precious on the court.
yeah, and he's being guarded by Dyson Daniels, right? And then now you're like, yo, this offense look terrible. Well, the offense look terrible because Cat is in foul trouble. And he's gonna be in foul trouble for the rest of the game. Because
Yeah.
if you're in foul trouble in the first quarter, you're in foul trouble as a
You
big,
trying to
basically.
chase away from them fouls the entire time.
Yeah, you giving up layups at the rim. You got to give up points in the paint now because if you contest slightly, it's up to the referee to blow the whistle or not.
This risk.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like all these different things. like variables that we don't necessarily connect all the dots. Like Cat get in foul trouble, you bring in Precious, and then you have Precious, Josh Hart, Bridges, and Brunson on the floor at the same time with OG, and now you're like, oh my God, who's the secondary ball handler scorer? Nobody.
Nobody.
Then Brunson goes to the bench, Cat still in foul trouble. You bring in Deuce or Cameron Payne, and now you got Cameron Payne, Bridges, OG. Oh shit, my head hurting just by.
About to ruin your whole sleep, man.
I'm about to go watch Daredevil, bro. By the way.
Oh, I forgot it just came back.
Yeah. Chat. I'm about to fix me a vegan it actually is chickpea. It's a chickpea fillet, but it looked like chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and warm that up and watch some Daredevil and try to get me about 4 hours of sleep and get up and get on these phones.
Man. I holla. Peace, Corey.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, thank you everybody for coming through and watching. If you watched this video to the end, thank you. Right? I strayed a lot, but I love the Knicks.
Peace, y'all.
And then I'm a real life person. And if you're a Lawrence Tears person, man, hit the like button on your way out so that we can stay alive in the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, if you're watching this for the first time. And maybe if you subscribe, man, and you knew, I'll shout you out, something like that. I'll get IKBM Dre to do, well, IKBM Dre's a Jet fan. So y'all forgive him.
Oh my
He's a
God.
Jet fan and a Met fan, so y'all forgive him on his
Oh
horrible
my
stuff.
God.
So, but thank you everybody for coming through and hanging out with us. Peace, everybody.
Peace.